be there?
Well,
He has to work.
yeah. So
Oh,
this
he's
this
pretending
is
to
the right. Yeah, he's probably playing that game you were talking about.
work.
Yeah, how late did you guys stay up playing that last night?
Oh, we only do it once a month.
Oh.
So I think we're doing it next Monday, and we only go till like 9 o'clock. Just because usually McCall is like, I gotta leave. So Jared usually leaves at the same time.
Well, we can get started on
Let
tonight's
me grab a beer real
session.
fast.
You're
Be
fine.
right back.
It's gonna be maybe a little bit shorter tonight, and it also gonna be kind of educational, just a opportunity for you guys to get to know each other. A good old campfire session, maybe with some extra tidbits thrown in there. I mean, you guys just went through a big boss battle. Pretty eventful stuff. Now you're left with maybe some dead kids, maybe some traumatized kids, a vacant town that has been slightly destroyed, and new horizons. You know, you I think potentially talked about going back to Sib's place to loot that. But last we left off, you guys were all taking your long rest in the inn. Get all those HPs back, all those spell slots. So before we get started on this session, we'll do the fun facts to get you guys to get to know you guys a little bit better. And the question for tonight is, what is your favorite, like if you've ever been to summer camp, what is your favorite camp game? So maybe, you know, Ranger Steve, who's out and about right now, had some sort of summer camp-like activity when he was a child, or maybe, you know, Detective Easter had some sort of activities with his clan, some fun little games or something like that. But I guess what are your most fond camp game memories? And we'll actually start with the newest addition to the crew. Ian, you can tell us what Sailor Sun's, or I guess the alter ego to Sailor Sun's, favorite camp game might be.
Yes, Sailor Sun's favorite camp game, of course, was called Protect the Queen.
How do
We
you
had to protect her from all the cooties of the boys.
how did you go about protecting the queen? Is it like a tag sort of situation, or is this more of a violent game?
To the death. Yeah.
Like, was blood ever drawn in this game?
We were given the privilege to hold her on our shoulders. Unfortunately, I was always the first one out because the boys were wussies. They couldn't handle a single hit from me.
Oh dang! So you were the sort of the menace, the juggernaut to run and hide from then.
I was the ultimate protector.
So did anyone ever catch the queen while you were her protector?
Yes, her future king.
Oh.
Her prince. He was the only one.
Did you know right then
But
and
only
there?
because I was out.
Well. So you've got a pretty good record then, a pretty good streak going. Okay. Let's
I used to with my staff until last week.
yeah. Let's jump over to Kobe. You can tell us Detective Easter's favorite childhood game.
Okay. His favorite wait,
not gonna talk.
childhood game or camp game?
Camp game, childhood game. We'll just lump it into one big thing. Whatever your version of like growing up game was, right? So like I said, it could be related to your clan, or maybe you did just go to a summer camp. I don't know.
Okay.
We need to come back to,
Detective Easter's favorite camp game. They called it Twiddage.
Twiddage.
And Twiddage. And so it's a Dragonborn only camp game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's done at
Very
all the
exclusive.
Dragonborn camp games. Yeah, it's so in Twiddage there's these three different balls. There's one, it's a very small silver ball, and we paint little fast wings on there to make it look like it's really fast. And then there's a bigger ball that is just made of leather. It's easy to pass around. We called that ball the Twaffle. So you had the Twaffle, the Twitch, which was the silver one, and then you had the Tludger, which was this other kind of just really hard, dense ball. And so you'd go around. There's these three hoops, and you team up, and people would run around. And the whole goal of the game was to get as many points by throwing the Twaffle through the rings. The other team was trying to stop you, and then occasionally there'd be people with the Twudger. They were called the Tweeters, and they would slam the ball at you, try to knock you over. And then you'd see people on the sidelines throwing the little silver ball, the Twitch. And if you could ever catch it as people were throwing it, that would end the game, and you'd get a ridiculous amount of points that made it worthless to try to do anything else other than to catch the Twitch.
So
It was really unbalanced.
For the description, I just put Quidditch with more T's.
Yes.
Is that fair? Okay.
You just should have just said, put the word dragon in front of all the normal Harry Potter words.
It was a dragon snitch and a dragon quaffle.
We'll jump over to Cameron and Ranger Steve then, because I feel like you may be able to feed off of that. I don't know.
So yeah, one of our favorite games growing up. We didn't really have a whole lot of summer camp opportunities, but we kind of lived out in the forest to begin with.
Sure.
Pretty small, tight knit community. But all the kids our age, we play a game called Capture the Coconut. We were kind of in the middle of the forest, but we had groups of people who'd go out to the coastline and they'd bring back things like coconuts. And so as kids, we'd split up into the forest into groups. We'd split up kind of into different types of kids, what kind of families they grew up in. Some of them had influence with magic, so we kind of split those people up on each team, that kind of stuff. And so each group would split up into the forest in their own designated areas, and they'd hide their coconut. And the whole point of the game was to then capture the other team's coconut and bring it back safely to your spot. So, but with some of the influences of magic, a lot of it was born from the knowledge of those families of the forest around us. There's lots of weird opportunities to kind of trick the players into, avoiding certain areas because they think the habitat has changed, those kind of situations. So
Lots of
it was always
quicksand,
really
I
fun.
imagine.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Did you ever
Learned a lot about the forest in those games growing up.
Did you ever say that you hit a coconut, but in reality there never was a coconut?
There was always a coconut. Yeah, we were
So you
pretty
guys-
loyal to the game, I
Okay,
suppose.
so you played by the rules then.
No, I'm not saying we didn't. There wasn't any rules broken per se, but there was some blurred lines.
Blurred line.
What was the penalty for being caught cheating? You put your hand on dartboard or something?
You just lose the game. We start over.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So
Okay. Pretty
we always
heavy
had
price, yeah.
yeah, so we always had a couple of we could play a couple sessions in one day, and we always had a couple of parents who'd come out, and some of the elders would watch us play and make sure we didn't die. Because it was, the forest still had lots of scary things in it, or young kids using magic, try and embellish a little bit. There's some caveats. There's some
Did anyone
boundaries.
ever die?
No, they never got to that point.
Did anyone get close to dying?
There was one moment where someone portrayed an area that looked safe, and it was the edge of like a cliff.
Wow.
Yeah, there was one of the elders had to step in, and kind of push them back away from it because they were about to just walk right through it, right off the cliff. So,
I thought you were going to say push them back over the edge. I was like, oh.
No, they didn't. They didn't. Luckily, they didn't even quite make it to the edge. But the way they were heading, it was definitely going to be. Was it going to be a good thing?
Wow, scary stuff. And then finally, Josh, can you tell us about any? I know you had Tug had a troubled childhood with his father, but maybe there were games of some kind that you can remember.
Yeah, I'd have to say, when's Daddy coming home? That would be my
We
favorite
played it every night. It's my favorite game.
game. So like,
I
you
played it
know,
by
so,
myself.
Video account.
um, I spent many evenings, coming home and sitting by the window waiting, and really it was just a game that I probably played with myself. It had a lot to do with hope and wishful thinking, but the main thing was you sat by the window, and anytime an older man came close to the house, you get really, really excited and think that they're coming home, and it mostly ended in disappointment. But lots of fond memories with me in that window, and yeah, that I would say that was probably the most.
How did this game coin its name? Was your mom just from the other room constantly shouting to you, "When's Daddy coming home?" and then you'd run to the window? Like, was this just her way of, I mean, with lack of a better word, just torturing you, or like what? How did?
No, I think it really just had to do with she was just happy that I was self-occupied and probably a lazy parent, and
Count the raindrops on the windows. It'll pass the time.
yeah, I think I'm not really sure that she ever really gave a damn about what I was doing, other than I was occupied. But this one time that really familiar, this man came all the way to the freaking door, and then he just dropped off some milk and turned around and left. And that probably had to be the highlight and biggest disappointment of a young childhood,
Man.
I'd have to say.
When's
Did
Daddy?
you ever win the game?
No, but I'm not gonna say that some evenings, after a few drinks, I don't find myself looking out a window. Daddy may come home any day. We don't know.
Man,
You always carry around that little window with you?
We're gonna definitely think different thoughts now when we see you at the tavern, just wistfully looking out of the tavern window, just like
just
go over and make sure Tug's doing okay. Like, oh, hey, buddy.
I'm so glad you picked up on that, because that was exactly the
Ranger Steve's gonna walk by with different cloaks on to see what the reaction is every time.
I could have chose to subclass into something where I could change my identity a little bit, and if we'd gotten a better description of what your dad looked like.
You're saying I shouldn't use my minor illusion to make it seem like an old man is coming to see you?
I mean, old man probably would not get me too excited.
Well, it's been a long time since you've seen your father.
Just think Robin Williams, the genie. From
You don't.
Aladdin,
Hey, you're running it. You can't tell the newcomer all of my secrets. Okay?
Watch it be Jared of all people that just fucks with you every time.
Or I thought you were gonna say that Jared's just his dad, because maybe that's it.
That's why he doesn't participate so much.
Right.
Yeah, that's why it's so awkward to be around our group. Yeah, it's a secret.
Oh man, well, if that was going to come out in tonight's campfire session, we will never know, because he is unfortunately not with us tonight. But I will go live in the chat so you guys can see, and we can pick up where we left off. I'm actually going to take this hood thing off because it's not comfortable.
In the hood, yeah.
All right. Cool. So, like I said, where we left off, you guys had defeated both Sib and Commissioner Cassius Creedo, who ended up being another Annis hag. But you guys swiftly dealt with them with the aid of Sailor Sun, potential new companion on your quest, whatever your quest may be. And yeah, like I said, I think you guys dragged all the things into the. Let me get rid of some of these pieces here. Goodbye. And you guys were in the tavern, resting it up.
Has Sailor Sun transformed back?
I don't know. Has Sailor Sun transformed?
No,
back? Okay.
I am still Sailor
Okay.
Sun until I sneeze.
Oh, okay.
Very restless sleep.
Is it fair to assume that? No, he said he was sleeping too. I was gonna say he was just rummaging through
Yeah.
the rubble all night, but we'll do this. Cool. So yeah, you guys wake up. You sort of go downstairs to the deserted tavern, and the bartenders are gone, and there's any means of kind of like bread and stuff downstairs you can scrounge up. Obviously, the Dragonfire whiskey is plentiful behind the bar, but it's up to you guys how you want to proceed from here. So I'll let you take the wheel.
I'd like to light up a cigar and walk outside.
All right.
I'd like to order 1 shot of fire whiskey.
As you go to order your fire whiskey, you realize there's no bartender, and that
Oh,
you.
I immediately just walk behind the bar and start making him a whiskey.
All right. But Ranger Steve, you do realize that you forgot to pay your tab the last time you were in here.
Oh. No, I'm pretty sure I did pay my tab.
I
thought.
I'm pretty sure you didn't, but
Oh, I took the coins off my thing, but
oh,
at least on my sheet, I took my coins off.
yeah, did you? Okay, all right. Well, if you took the coins off,
I thought we'd had, before I went back to the group, and when I got those guys the shots, I paid my tab while I was there, but
maybe it
not.
wasn't you. Maybe it was somebody else. Then I don't know, because you paid for the shots for Detective Easter. I didn't know you paid for the shots for the other guys.
Yeah, I thought I paid while I was standing there to give them shots, because the idea was to make them fall asleep, so I was
Gotcha.
anteing up. But maybe not, but that's what I thought, because I took the gold off my
Not
number.
not to worry. Misremember on my part.
But I will pay for this one, yeah, so I'm going to flip a gold coin.
You flip it to your old pal Tug behind the counter there.
I gladly accept his gold coin.
Can you please put that on the counter? Under the counter.
No, I just take the gold coin and hand you a whiskey.
You notice the whiskey is a double.
Okay. I'll come back in once Tug leaves and hide another gold piece.
I don't think Tug's leaving from behind that counter for a while.
I'm going to shoot it and walk out.
You're gonna shoot the glass with your bow? Oh, shoot
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
No, I'm just
okay,
gonna-
yeah.
I want to shoot. I want to take the drink and throw it in the air, then try and shoot it with my bow.
All right. Give me a dexterity check.
21.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
miraculously throw the glass up in the air, kind of using the centrifugal force to keep the whiskey in the glass, and quickly draw your bow and arrow, and you shoot it out of the air. The glass shatters, and everybody kind of gets misted with a little bit of Dragonfire whiskey. There's a slight hint of cinnamon in the air.
Yeah, I just want to wink at everybody and walk out.
You do exactly that. You walk out to Detective Easter enjoying a morning cigar.
Morning cigar.
Well, Ranger, are the others just going to stay in there and drink all day, or are we going to be on our way back to Nicantes?
Well, it's honestly been quite a while since we've been in a town and at a bar, and we used to frequent lots of taverns and enjoy the spirits. So I'd say let them have their
Well,
fun.
Yes, have your fun while you can, because there are no taverns in Nicantes. In fact, alcohol and narcotics are strictly prohibited.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to go to my panties with you then. So yeah, we're not gonna go there if that's the case.
Well, there are always exceptions to the rule. You might find that on certain grounds that you might find what you're looking for, but on the whole, it is not allowed in the city.
It sounds like a super bummer city, so I wouldn't, portray that to Tug in the slightest. But yeah,
Oh, would Tug turn down a business deal just to get a drink?
he might in fact do that. Yeah, he would probably just send in some of his Kuatoa to handle the business deal, and he just wouldn't even come in. I would not put that past him. He's already decided to send his guys here to just burn this place down, women and children. So
He's done what?
it was a big joke. You missed it. Yeah, he was
Oh,
threatening.
please.
Yeah, he was threatening the Cassius guy. We kind of knew he was kind of shady. Hey, it turned out to be he was an anus hag. So, I think we had a good read on him. We saved a little girl. It was a whole thing.
Yes, no, I was here for when Cassius turned into an Anishag, but you were saying that he has commanded the Kuatoa to come here.
No, he threatened Cassius that we were going to do that. So,
Uh,
and they'll pretty much, they'll listen to him for whatever reason. So,
she does claim to be Blib du Pull-Up. Is she not?
I mean, he turned blue and then he became a crab. The weird fish people listen to him. He talks about it a lot. He likes to get in the water. They seem to listen to him, but
So you're saying that Tug, he has not always been a she, and she has not always been Blib du Pull-Up? In fact, her skin was different, and she didn't quite look the way that she looks now.
yeah, I'll let them tell you. I don't know what pronoun Tug would like to use, but I'm sure he's got a very overindulgent style story to tell you about that whole journey.
It has never been confirmed. I mean, yeah, you guys knew him for a long time, so there are some of you that, but I don't know. That's definitely a good question to ask Tug, because I don't know where he stands on what pronoun to use either.
Well, are they
Maybe
taking
you
the
just
rest of the
call
day
them
at the bar
Tug,
and just
or-
leave?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to like take a walk around, see what's going on in town, I'm fine with it. But or
Well, the only
go ahead and shout inside, see if they're coming.
I don't think I will. The only other thing I would look for here in town is to see what could be found at Cassius Creedo's place.
Oh,
I imagine that the commissioner has been holding lots of secrets.
Yep, absolutely. I think we're looking for some stuff for the artifice. He's always looking for stuff, so let's just go ahead and take him out of that picture and let's just find a bunch of stuff for him. Otherwise, he'll just ponder. He'll disappear. We don't know where he goes, and so.
Oh, I'm not here to pick up garbage for the elf.
I agree, but I've spent so much time waiting on him that if something looks even just a minute percentage better than garbage, he's gonna pick it up. So.
Well, I'll
while
let
we're
you
looking-
pick up
while we're looking
garbage
around.
for the elf. I, however, will look for information if there is any. But do you know where Cassius Creedo was residing?
Yeah, he's over by that building. I sent him, right through the middle of that building, that collapsed building over there.
Do you know where he was residing
stayed?
previously?
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I don't. No, I don't remember. Somewhere in town though. I bet one
Very
of these
helpful.
children around would be able to tell us.
Very astute, yes. Observation. Somewhere in town.
Is there blueberry wine by chance in the bar?
There is only Dragonfire whiskey and water.
What type of bar is this? This is a worthless bar. No blueberry wine. Last call. I'm making last call. Any last call? All right, we're done.
Have Tyrell take a shot.
Oh, well, Tyra, right here. I give you a triple.
booze him up real good. Next time he comes on next week, he's just gonna be trashed.
Yeah. I just basically pour alcohol down Tyrell's throat until he just can't take it anymore.
I was gonna say he takes the glass of alcohol and puts it in his pocket for later, but you know.
No. He's
He'd
basically
forget about it and never bring it up ever again, probably.
I'm waterboarding him with dragon whiskey right now.
Yeah, if
You
you're
should
gonna
have
try
him
and
find a big-
waterboard him, I am gonna make you try and succeed at a check, because I'm not just gonna let you make him your puppet, but
You should have him find a big thing of rope in the corner and then drunkenly yell out, "He's too good for it," and walk away.
I mean, I'm going to convince him that he wants to drink all this whiskey.
make
You have to pour it with your claw hand, so you have a disadvantage.
What would you actually say in person?
I was gonna
Give
say
him
you're gonna have to either say something or
What-
you're just gonna have a
What
persuasion
would I
check.
actually say to Jared in person? I bet you can't drink all this whiskey.
Yeah, Jared does like whiskey, but does Tyrell like whiskey?
I don't know what Tyrell likes.
Tell you what,
Wine.
I
don't think
think
Tyrell
I
knows
think
what
it would be
Tyrell likes.
fair to assume that Tyrell would go shot for shot with you, but I don't think he would drink alone.
That's true. You should take some shots with him.
No, I can't. I've got a lot to take care of. I can't be making last
Why?
call. I'm closing the bar down.
All right.
Tyrell,
Tyrell, in his infinite deliberation on what he was going to do, whether he's going to drink it or not, just decides to not participate. But you make last call, and Sailor Sun's the only person standing there.
Well, I would like to go out because I heard something about cash and Fritos, and I'm in.
I want to pick up some dirt.
You pick it up.
I want to walk over to Sailor Sun. I'm gonna blow it right in his face.
Her face.
is it a him or a her?
Her.
Right. Right in her face.
So this is the instance in which, Ian, is this something that you would want me to do where you need to succeed at a Constitution saving throw to not sneeze?
No, I'll let it happen.
Okay. So yes, Sailor Sun sneezes, and at the exact moment that you hear the sneeze and the violent action has been done, Sailor Sun is instantly transformed into what appears to be almost a completely different person.
Hi, I'm Soul.
I was really curious what was gonna happen, so
Oh, I'm so sorry. You met my counterpart. She's not very nice. She tries.
well, hey, it's nice to meet you. I'm Ranger Steve.
Oh, it's so great to meet you guys. What happened?
Basically, a couple of anus hags attacked us. I beat them both single-handedly. You guys were really impressed by everything I did.
As you are standing.
Don't let this one lie to you too much.
There is a decapitated body of an anisag directly behind you as you're talking about this, FYI.
Yeah. This anus hag behind me, I chopped that head right off. The other one I threw through a building. It was pretty epic.
Oh, gosh, go you. So are
appreciate-
these like your supporters?
Oh, they kind of follow me around. It's super weird, but I told them I was going to this forest nearby, and they were like, "You're a ranger. You must know a lot about the forest." And I was like, "I do know a lot about the forest." And we survived the forest.
Oh, cool. Where are we? I remember the wind blowing all of this pollen in the air, and then I sneezed, and well, you know me. I just kind of do what the other one says.
Yeah. So yeah, you tried to join the battle. You kept trying to use your staff, and you just kept missing a lot. It's pretty embarrassing for everybody.
Oh, Yeah, when I transform, I tend to lose any kind of ability that I have in my staff. I do know that I'm pretty good at magic and some spells, but that's all gone when I'm in this form.
Oh yeah, well, if you want to hang out with us and maybe help us out, we can kind of round out those two sides of you.
Yeah, that would be amazing because I really don't know much about the other one. All my memory is really gone to her.
All right, well, count on me. I'll tell you everything that she does.
Oh, great, thanks.
No problem.
Well, madam, I am Detective Easter, and I wouldn't take this man's word for everything that he says. He appears to have fallen for your human charm. I, however, am not one to look at human flesh that way. So while he boasts about being able to do all these things, you might take it with an air of caution.
Yeah, he just wants to eat your human flesh, so he doesn't look at it in a provocative way.
I second. I'd have to agree with Ranger.
He's
He
pretty
looks-
new to our group. He helped out a little bit.
I am
Right.
not a part of this group.
So Ian, what was your character's name again?
Soul.
Soul, that's right, Soul. So Soul, you hear someone say, "I second that," and what steps through the doorway but this blue lobster-looking woman humanoid. It is a rather shocking sight to see and hear. It almost doesn't appear as if the voice should be coming from what you are seeing.
I'm gonna look at this thing and I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, what is that? You have such great boobs.
Well, thank you for noticing. This is how I mother all my children.
How long does it take to get around each day with that arm?
Oh, this straggly five-fingered thing, it holds me back a little, but all in all, I've come to adapt.
Well, that's good. I must ask, you all seem friendly, but why does this police officer person seem so mean?
Well, there's kind of been, he's a cop. They're kind of mean.
Yeah.
It comes with the profession, but please
I
do
think
not
that's a
allow
stigma.
my voice to deter you. This is just how the Dragonborn talk. A lot of people assume we are a bit dry and a bit coarse.
He's basically trying to get you to let your guard down so he can eat your flesh. We've already predetermined that he does not look at human flesh that way. He looks at it in the I'm hungry way.
I promise you, madam, if I wanted to eat you or to eat anyone here, they would have already been eaten. However, I do not divulge myself to become such a barbaric savage as to eat the flesh of a humanoid.
Can I persuade Soul that he's basically trying to eat her?
I'll give you that roll with disadvantage because Soul is proficient in deception. So I mean.
Okay. So what do we got to do?
So you need to make a d20 roll twice with your modifiers, and you take the lower of the two numbers you get. And Soul, for your check that you're gonna make, like I said, you're going to roll your d20, and then add your charisma modifier to that, and that'll just be your check to see if you've been deceived or not.
17 was the lowest. I got an 11 and a 10.
I rolled a 19 plus 3 is 22.
Yeah, so
you do not persuade her.
I did not persuade.
Well, I'm gonna ask, Mr. Detective Easter, what is your favorite thing to eat?
I am very partial to a nice bit of white bass.
White ass.
When he says
White bass fish is very nice to eat.
when he says that, can I
White
just like
bass
make a
fish.
horrible? Can I just make like a horrible gag?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The gasp is the only thing that would have helped you there, because yeah, your face is very much obstructed by your helmet, but you succeed in gasping effectively.
Fish is one of the staples of Nicantes.
It's blasphemy.
I would like to blush deeply because I only heard Ranger Steve say white ass. And so now I still think he wants to eat me.
So as you guys are kind of having a good chuckle, you notice that some of the children and Joni have kind of peeked around the edge and are kind of curiously, wondering what the deal is. Like, I don't know. There's probably, let's say, 7 kids and Joni.
Can I walk towards my children with my arms out?
Sure.
Okay.
Run away screaming.
So you kind of walk forward with your arms out, and Joni maybe looks at you a little confused, but the kids kind of just stay put right where they're at. Like they're all kind of hugging the side of this building, right? Kind of like peeking around the corner.
Christian, can you control Joni from now on for me?
Yeah, of course.
Perfect.
So Joni just sort of like acknowledges that everything's cool, and he walks right past Blib and over to Ranger Steve, and he kind of looks up at Ranger Steve like, "What's up? And who are these two?"
Yeah, I just want to make sure he's feeling better. He took some massive hits last night on his inhaler. He's making sure he recovered okay.
And he said, "Yeah, those hallucinations were pretty tight. That was the sickest thing I've ever seen on those drugs before." He's like, I honestly have never even done drugs before, but now that I have, I think it's going to be a regular thing."
I would advise against it. We don't want to lose you. So
He says, "Are you kidding, man? I can't imagine any side effects from that stuff." He's like, "I watched you guys fight some sort of like crazy monster thing, and I was just jamming on the bucket over there. And every time I was hitting that bucket, I just had this shockwave of euphoria through my entire body."
I mean, that does sound pretty dope, but since you're so new to the world, outside the Dragon's Lair, you should probably stick close to us. Maybe once, we're taking a nice long rest or something, you can hit some of that up. But
Well, I guess
I would suggest, hey, it's up to you. You can do whatever you want, but
I could keep that promise for now, just because I'm out of juice. So yeah, sure.
okay, cool, yeah. Well, cool, yeah. Just hang out with us. We're gonna try and tie up some loose ends here with this town, I think.
But again, who are the 2 new ones?
So this is you can talk to this guy. He's draconic, so you don't just have to talk to me now.
I think we've shared some words before. But
Kobold.
the one to my left.
Yeah, this is Soul. She joined us in the fight. When she sneezes, some cool shit happens, and she turns into a different person.
Hello.
She doesn't speak Draconic, right?
I don't think so. Probably not.
No, but I assume this is for me to say hello.
He sort of nods and he turns back to Ranger Steve and he says, "Don't tell her I said this, but that white ass looks pretty tasty."
I just wink at him.
He kind of gives you a nod of approval, like, "All right, you're good. You're good."
All right, so I think everyone has met each other.
Tug, you still have arms open. The children are sort of your audience at the moment, but they're not embracing you or anything.
Yeah, I know, it's kind of upsetting me.
Because you're terrifying. I want to walk around tug
I'm
towards
gonna
the children.
tell children not to be scared of the odd-looking people and tell them to come to me and see what they say.
They approach closer. They sort of are, you know, closely attentive to your speech or your talk.
Yeah, and I just tell them not to worry that these men are with me, and they seem to be good people, and you shouldn't be scared of them, except for the tall dragon guy.
So obviously the sort of leader of the group stands up. And he says, "Why should we be afraid of him?"
He likes human flesh.
I think I could take him.
Oh, I love your spunk. You will be a true warrior one day, little Timmy.
Thanks. Sorry we couldn't get more kids, but they all kind of ran off.
Yeah, well, that's okay. True belief sometimes takes courage, and you guys have shown courage.
Or when you got no other options.
That is true. Your true self is always found when you're backed into a corner, though.
So does
Okay,
that
I
mean
wanna-
I can choose a new name for myself?
Absolutely. What would you like
I'm
to be
Captain
called?
Awesome.
Captain Awesome for all you. From now on, this shall be your name, Captain Awesome.
Do I get to name other people?
No, you don't get that. You don't get that right.
Well, I wasn't gonna name you or anything, but what about that kid over there? And the kid kind of looks like me, like no, don't rename me.
Each should get to choose their own name. No name shall be forced upon one another.
Well, that's fine. Whatever, as long as I'm Captain Awesome.
Now, kids, run off and go play.
They go over to their rock and. And one falls down.
Oh, Captain Awesome, are you okay? As I immediately run over there.
You run over there and you realize that's not Captain Awesome. Captain Awesome is the one that pushed the kid off of the rock.
It's okay. I pick the crying child up and hold him close to my bosom and tell them in the arms of Blue Pulip they shall always be okay.
The kid kind of, you know, looks at his friends and looks at you, and he just kind of nods his head yes.
I put him back on his feet and help him, let him go back and play.
He climbs back on top.
They are so proud of him. They're so proud of him. They're lifting him.
They're lift. Yes,
glory,
it's a
it
Rudy
brings a tear
moment.
to my-
Yes, it's yeah.
It brings. I literally cry. I cry. I am so proud. And then I rejoin the rest of the group.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over to the kids and ask them some questions.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
That ended abruptly. So.
Well, while he's walking over there, can I tell Tyrell and Elvish that we need to go look for an actual authority figure, not some children, and let them know about these hags?
Sure.
Okay. And then walk towards where other people might be, towards the other end of town.
Yeah, so you've already been to the tavern. The only places you haven't checked yet are the lumberyard, the like commons area, the main hall, and then did I already say the blacksmith's place? Yeah, blacksmith's place and the main hall, and then the lumberyard.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk towards the lumber area.
Sure.
With Tyrell.
There's also houses over to the left, but you don't, those are your options you got. So yeah, you and Tyrell, Joni's gonna tag along as well.
Perfect.
Soul, you're welcome to go wherever.
I mean,
that's literally what I was gonna ask the kids is where the adults were. So I mean, yeah.
So
I just assume you and Doug were playing
Waited
the
like
kids.
15 seconds, I would have that same outcome probably would have happened. But
so Captain Awesome steps up and says, "All the adults left because they're chickens.
so there's no adults left in the city. Nothing.
We run this town now.
That's false. Where's the person who runs the tavern? They didn't leave.
I do. I'm Captain Awesome, and I run the town."
Okay, I just want to dump a bunch of water on them with my decanter, not full blast, just spray them with water and just walk away.
Okay. So,
That's
what?
so you're gonna spray a bunch of little kids with your water and walk away. I think we've already heard about that in the news once, and it didn't turn out well for that guy.
He was fine. He didn't die. He just knocked you out of your barrel and your butt hurt about it.
No, that was a joke about pissing on children, Cameron.
Oh, I haven't heard about that.
I haven't
Is
either.
that a thing?
What level do you?
It's
call
just
out
the
your-
remix to Ignition. It's okay.
If Will was here, he would get the joke.
So yeah, you spray them with water, and it is enough to drench them, like soak them through all the way to the bone, but they don't fall off their rock. And Captain Awesome kind of defiantly stands among all the kids who have been kind of pressed against the rock by the water, and says, "You can't take our rock. We're the kings." But you've already walked off to the rest of the group.
I want to go too. There's no reason for me to stick around.
All right. So you look into the lumberyard here, and don't pay attention to all of these figures because they're not here.
What sorcery is this? People were here and now they've gone. This is. Am I the only one seeing this?
You must have taken a hit off of Joni's inhaler because, yeah, they were never there. But you kind of look around. You take a peek in the Great Hall. There's nobody in the Great Hall. There's nobody alongside the lockers. There's nobody in the lumberyard. It looks very vacant. The guards seemed like they would have been the ones that would have stuck around because they obviously had to protect the town. But the ones at the other gate are dead. The ones over here appear to be maybe have fled or are not at the gate any longer. You know the tavern was vacated. Nobody's in there. So your last chance is to sort of look for anybody is either in the homes or the blacksmith's sort of place.
Can I just head off to the blacksmith place?
If you'd like to go alone, but the others
Yeah,
may join you.
I'm gonna go as well.
All right. So there's a group of kids sort of rummaging around in the blacksmith stuff, and suddenly you hear someone like banging two swords together, and the kids just scatter. And sure enough, who steps out from the blacksmith's hut but the blacksmith? He says, "Damn kids. Think because the town goes to shit, they can come and rummage through my stuff?
What's happened here, sir?
You tell me. Bunch of commotion, things getting thrown around, people transforming from my shop. Whole town goes to hell, all in one night. All when you guys show up."
Well, it turns out that your commissioner was actually an Annis hag. Appears to have had help from another, perhaps a part of a coven of Annis hags. We took care of the problem.
Well, I honestly thank you for that. Annis hags are pretty bad for business, but it doesn't look like Edgewood has much life left in her. Got any recommendations of where I could move next?
Nicantes is not too far from here, or perhaps you can take the river and head back up the Trident.
You could also stay and see what good fortunes may come your way.
You sound like you know something.
I mean, sometimes opportunities are just a blind door away.
So what opportunity is awaiting me?
Who knows? You have to walk through the blind door.
I prefer to know where I'm going.
Do we, any of us, truly know where we're going?
Can
Those-
any of the
I
rest of
know where
you
I'm
tell
going.
me what he's
I'm-
talking about?
Those in the
I
bosom of
cannot.
Blue Tulip have the greatest guidance.
Is it
If
the
you're
guidance
truly-
that you're currently
truly-
providing to me? Because it's not that great.
If you're truly seeking a way, come with me, and I can lead you.
You sound like you have a god complex. Does this guy actually have followers? Because I'll be your army's blacksmith.
Sir, I gotta say, the only god to follow is the sun, so just walk that way.
Absolutely. If you're looking for employment, the best advice I could give you is to stay here and yeah.
You know, all,
Followers-
all of this advice is just go towards the sun, believe in myself, walk blindly into the path, and trust this. I'm taking all of this in stride. I cannot tell you how much this means to me. It really does. Does anyone else have any advice to provide for me while we're at it?
Rewarding
Mm.
comes to those who are patient.
Because
To be honest, I
The-
don't care what you end up doing. Just make sure that you tell the workers when they return about their commissioner and the.
Tell the workers of Blibdu Pull Up, and your way will be set. I can promise you that Blibdu Pull Up will set your way if you tell the workers of Blibdu Pull Up, and the great things that you saw here today.
what makes you
I
think
do
I'm
not
going to stick
second
around here? What benefit is there for me to stick around here? Or what are you going to pay me to stay for the next 6 days for them to come back?
I could pay you to stay for the next 2 days.
How much?
2 gold pieces. As I like hold them up in between my fingers, like Aang did when he was bartering with the pirates.
Very flashy, but I think I'm going to go to a city that actually belongs on the map, not the sun or blindly through some doorway. But I appreciate your offer. I mean, no disrespect.
I want to use what do I got to use? How do I use charisma here to convince him that he wants to stay for 2 days?
How about you talk to him like a normal person and quit forcing your religion on him?
I am talking to him normal Blib do pull up.
So if you want to
Just
try
talk
and
to
make
him more convincingly.
if you want to try and make a roll for it, we can
Yeah,
do that.
I'm
Okay.
rolling. Is there
Just-
disadvantage? I just
the-
roll in here.
I mean, I would say it's a disadvantage because he's not exactly trusting of you based on your prior conversation. So
You have to roll for it to begin with.
Well, my first one was a 16, so that would be a 23. Second one was a 12. 19.
he says, "I'll take your 2 gold, and sure, yeah, I'll stay 2 days."
Bam! Convinced.
He says, "Give me those coins now."
I give him the 2 gold.
He says, "All right, well, thanks for the 2 gold. You know, do you guys plan on sticking around?"
No, we do not. We plan on going back to Nicantes.
Great. I mean, oh, that's a shame. I really wish you'd stick around for the 2 days I'm
Well-
going to be here because there's lots of whiskey next door.
Well, if you do happen to stay long enough to alert somebody of what happened here in the town, it would be greatly appreciated. However, we must be on the road.
I feel
Thank you for your time.
no problem. I feel like I do at least owe the people of Edgewood that much, or I can't leave all these kids here alone.
That is true.
I heard them talking about some kind of Captain Awesome, and they're the kings of this place, and somebody gave them permission, and I don't know, but they need to be set straight.
Christian, is there anything that we notice about this blacksmith that seems off?
With your passive perception, no, he just seems like a guy that was protecting his goods.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, no, I'm done with him. So
All right.
I'm gonna step back a little bit.
Sure, sure. Any of the rest of you got anything for me?
Yeah. So, basically, Cassius is dead, but that doesn't mean that this town has to stop, producing the goods that you guys have done for a long time.
Which is why staying to work and sharpen many swords
Yeah.
of the.
You paid him 2 gold pieces, so if you can stick around enough for these guys to come back from their shift, you're gonna have to tell them to keep doing what you're doing, and there's gonna be some help come along the way to kind of keep the engines rolling a little bit.
There's only one flaw in the plan is Commissioner Cassius Creedo blessed the axes, and nobody around here is really qualified to do that.
Yeah, so that's no longer needed. He was actually kind of under a spell, I guess, to put it in simple terms, from the creepy witch outside town. Do you know who that is?
Are you talking down to the master blacksmith? Probably the most skilled man in this entire establishment. Don't take that from him, sir. I apologize. I apologize deeply.
He kind of looks at you, Tug, like, where did that come from?
He was talking. No one knows their history around here. Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that outburst. He gets pretty excited. Yeah, so Sib outside, you got.
How dare thee! How dare thee!
Yeah, so Cassius is dead. He was kind of under a spell, kind of was going along with the witch outside city. And he basically was just lying to you guys about that. And they were just collecting souls, basically. So that was all one big showboat thing. It's actually not needed to prosper and continue doing what you guys are doing.
Thankfully,
So-
Blood People came to town, and now the town is saved and freed from that treachery.
So you're telling me I can take plain Jane axe here and go cut down any tree I want right now?
No, it will still need a blessing.
Nope. Yep. You can do that. So
I would very much like to. Can you show me, please? Just generally curious. I would like to know.
if you can cut the wood,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah. You can just go to that whenever you want. Honestly, there's not. Just go to the Edgewood
Sure.
and go for it. But we'll be here just a little longer. We just want you to pass the word on to just keep on keeping on.
So what changed?
And-
Why can I cut down the trees now?
It was just kind of a big lie. Cassius was just kind of using you to get children's souls. So,
Yeah. Well, I guess can't trust a hag. All right.
yep. So, I mean, you guys kind of still have monopoly because not a whole lot of other people know this yet, and
Well, you guys
So-
know it.
yeah, we do. But if
Are you
anything, it's
good
just
at
kind
keeping
of.
secrets.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, there's an abundance of wood in this forest. So if anything, your city's gonna grow if people want to come here and do the same thing. But I think you need to act now. You seem like a pretty level-headed guy. You know what's going on. Maybe you can, you've got the insight to tell the loggers coming into town what's going on.
Sure.
Maybe you could step up and be the next leader of the town.
It does have a nice ring to it. Are you saying I could pick my own name? Man, pick my own name and title. Wow.
What's rolling off your tongue right now? What do you think?
I think I'd be General Blackbeard, the most feared and skilled blacksmith in all of Edgewood.
That sounds pretty awesome. Why would you be
General
feared?
Blackbeard. Yeah. That's a good name.
Can I cast Firebolt right at him and kill him?
Oh, wow. Yeah, if you want to try.
Before he does that, I'm going to
All
punch
right,
him in the armpit.
No, he doesn't even get a chance.
Yeah.
He has no idea that I'm even doing it because I had to speak tell you. I literally just do it right now.
I am gonna give you your chance to cast your spell. I'm gonna give Ranger Steve a chance to mess it up, and I'm gonna give the blacksmith a chance to dodge it, or
He doesn't get it. No, he does not get a chance. I only vocalize it to tell you. He has no idea I'm doing it. I just literally do it.
Okay. Then let's do this the fair way. I need you to do a stealth check to conceal the fact that you are going to cast Firebolt. If you succeed in the stealth check, Ranger Steve doesn't notice and can't stop you.
Well, then what do I have to beat?
I'm going to say you have to beat 15 on your stealth check.
That's outrageous. I don't agree with this at all.
He is literally standing right behind you. You have to
he's
cast your hand forward
He
with
would
Firebolt.
have no idea what I'm doing. I'm a lunatic. I raise my hands all the time and clap my claws together.
That's the check. Roll to beat it. You're still going to cast your spell, even if you fail the stealth check. You're just determining whether or not Ranger Steve gets to stop you or not, or try to stop you. What did you roll?
I got a 13, but I get a +1 to... No, that's a saving throw.
All right, so you're going to roll again for your attack to break the armor class of the blacksmith. And Ranger Steve, you're going to try and stop him. Just for simplicity's sake, are you going to try and grapple him? Or, how are you going to try and stop him?
I mean, whatever he's using to just stop him. So whatever can, even if he still gets a spell off, it just misfires. So, yeah, punch him in his arm, just punch him, really.
Okay, so give me an unarmed attack. Right?
Are there any modifiers to attack?
What, your strength roll for
Okay,
unarmed?
Yeah, game. So it's 20. 20
Okay.
with modifiers.
So roll your hit die, your damage for your
Oh, it's
So it's going to be strength +1.
Yeah, it's just a 5.
Okay, so Tug, you're still going to cast your spell, but you're going to roll twice, and you're going to take the lower of the two at disadvantage because he punched you in the ribs.
13 and a 10.
You break the armor class. Roll damage.
Hold on. 2d10. Seven.
All right. So you cast Firebolt out, despite being hit in the ribs, kind of thrown off your aim, still managed to get the hit, and he's just sort of standing there contemplating this beautiful new name that he's christened himself with. And as your Firebolt is cast, it sort of hits him in his left shoulder, and shockwaves, just the flames shatter out, and you can see his beautiful, lush black beard just burned right off his face, just singed, gone, no more black beard. And he sort of falls back into the barrel and into the building, not realizing even what he's been hit with. He's a pretty stout guy. I mean, he's a dwarf, so he's got some HP. But he kind of quickly pats his face, and he looks over at you guys in shock as to what just happened, and he holds his face and he says, "My beard." My beautiful beard.
What the fuck you doing, Tug? Why did you do that?
I just immediately start telling him that doom will befall him if he stays in this town, and that he's going to die. Certain death is coming his way.
He runs inside the building and closes the door. You hear rummaging around, he's rummaging around.
I just get closer to the building and start being on the side of it and just doom will befall you. in this cursed town.
You hear the front door kick open, and he just has like a backpack which looks like it's been stuffed with a random number of things, and his arms are full, like he's dropping things as he's leaving, and he just sprints out past everyone, out the gate, and takes off down the trail.
Why did you make him bald, beard the broken?
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Can I walk back over to the group now?
Yes.
Well, good job, idiots. Our one person left to stay to tell them what happened in the town has left.
Like, literally, what the fuck are you doing?
They're all gonna die. It don't matter.
Why are they
gonna die?
all going to die?
We all die in the end. Only some will be saved through Belay do pull up.
That's so bullshit. You could have monopolized this entire community for your or our benefit by continuing the lumber business, and you just fucking attacked the one guy who could tell them that's coming back.
Oh, so Cassius wasn't lying about the blackmail. I see. You intended to blackmail about this lumber business here?
It's not blackmail. No, we were helping them out.
Gotcha.
Obviously, this guy.
Bearded now.
Yeah, obviously this guy wasn't gonna be up to the task of being the next head. He was ready to bounce the second he had the chance. So, yeah, but something tells me that before fucking Lobster over here went crazy, maybe we could have had some of his fish people come and kind of work some stuff out to keep this place going. But I don't think that's gonna fucking happen now.
It doesn't matter. Let's go to Pantytown.
I don't like the sound of that.
So Christian, I'd like to sit down on the bench and write, and just pull out a piece of paper from my detective's log and write a note, and then go and leave that on top of the Anna's hag.
Sure.
And I will send you what the note says.
Okay. Can do.
Yeah, I want to just walk around town and try and find Cassius Creedo's living quarters or office building.
So you imagine it'd be one of the houses in the lot, but there's no real markings as to whose house is what.
Is there another barrel full of water?
There's plenty of barrels, yeah.
I crawl into one.
Okay. You yet again submerge the egg on your back.
I'm just gonna wander around randomly because I still don't understand why I'm here.
Yeah, so you're just wandering around. Tyrell and Joni are just kind of having a nice powwow over by the gate.
So there's not like a separate building that looks more official. There's just houses.
Utilitarian houses, just made all the same.
Okay. Yep. I just want to check each one.
Yeah, you kind of poke into each one. The first one has a number of kind of like well-made wooden sort of carvings. You can tell that's kind of the hobby of the person in that one. The next building is just very neat, very clean, very minimal, like almost monk-like. Like this person wouldn't have much to their name necessarily, or they didn't care to have much to their name. The third house in the row is just like a halfway house kind of thing. Like it appears as if it's not very actively used. It's in more disrepair than the rest of them. And the last two behind you seem to be where a majority of the orphaned children live. It's more like a hostel, lots of bunk beds, things like that. Very disheveled, very messy.
Okay. I'm gonna go into the orderly,
Sure.
neat.
Yeah, so you step inside this one, and yes, everything, like the rug on the ground is not, crooked or anything. It's perfectly spaced. Everything is very meticulously, orderly across the entire space. It's not dusty. It's well swept. It's clean. It doesn't look like they own anything of value, or they don't allow themselves to own anything of any value.
Yeah, I guess I want to go over to the chapel or whatever,
Sure.
the large building where the ceremony is done.
So you run over and you kind of walk in, and you notice the cauldron and the sort of dried blood that's been almost washed away from where you saw it earlier in the drain in front. You notice up on the sort of podium, there appears to be some pages and things like that, maybe some notes or something from Commissioner Cassius Creedo, but the pews are all empty. Inside,
Can I pick up the pages or the book?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you go up and you kind of shuffle the papers around and you look at them, and they just mostly seem like scribbles, but you notice as you pick up the papers, there's like a smooth iron coin on the podium, just like polished smooth. It would look like a coin, like a currency, although it's completely devoid of any markings whatsoever of any kind.
Okay, I want to pick it up, pocket it.
All right, you pocket the coin.
Is there anything else in this room, or just pretty much what was on top of the dais, basically?
Yep, that's all that was really in that room.
Okay. Go back out, and I want to walk over to Detective Easter.
All right.
And just show him the coin. I don't want to give it to him, and just see if he recognizes it. Does this coin, this piece, have any meaning to you in your investigative past? Have you seen this before?
Christian, have I seen this coin before?
No, you've never seen a coin like this one before. But while you guys were sort of observing the body of the Annis hag in the head, you noticed that she had iron teeth.
I'm sorry. Can you describe the coin again? I was writing my letter, so how does it? How
It's
am
just
I?
a completely smooth iron coin. It would look like currency normally, but it's just completely devoid of any markings whatsoever.
If only our friend with some magical items wasn't submerged in some water, we might be able to detect what this is.
Well, I would imagine that the Annis hag takes the iron and probably uses it to keep tabs as some sort of communication device. Perhaps putting it in the pockets of the children, or the Cassius Creedo, the old hag. What was her name, did you say, before she turned?
Sib, the soothsayer?
Sib. She seemed to be the larger one and the one in control. So if she was controlling everybody, these iron coins could have been a way of control.
All right,
That is my only guess at this time.
Okay, I think we need to eventually make our way over to Sib, see if we can, find some more details out.
What is Tug doing in that barrel?
That's how he communicates to his people.
Ah, I see. And is it just barrels that he communicates in, or any sort of water?
Pretty much anything he put his face into, I believe, he can communicate.
So you kind of hear a whimper from behind you from Tyrell, and he says, guys? And he kind of gestures to behind him where it appears... All right. He appears to gesture towards kobolds. Not Joni, but new kobolds. Components.
I'd like to wander back to the group at this time while this is happening.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't just stand next to the barrel. I'd like to find everybody.
Oh, they're big kobolds.
Yeah, they're not really that big.
Just kidding. You have to change them.
I know how much hit points a kobold has, so
These could be different kobolds than the ones that you've been before.
Oh.
No,
well,
if you've
even if they were triple, even if you tripled or quadrupled their health, it's not that formidable.
No. But lo and behold, there are kobolds at the door. And you can see them sort of talking to each other and barking and yelping. And they kind of point at Joni. And you see one of the 5 dart off down the trail.
Hey, I think they were looking for him. We might want to go stop that one.
Let's go talk to Joni first and see if he recognizes these
No,
kobolds
in
and
fact,
perhaps scared them off.
I throw out my flying fly, and I jump on it and take off after the one.
Sure thing. As soon as you jump on your fly, you see the other 4 scatter in different directions. You see one goes in the forest over here, one goes around, another one goes in the forest a little bit farther down. The first one is, down the trail or whatever, and the last one is going to try and hug and make it to the other side of the town.
Well, then I guess I just stick around to see what Joni says, but I still have my emerald fly.
Yep. Yeah, sure thing.
Yeah, and I'd just like to, I guess, walk up towards Joni if we have free actions.
Yep. Yeah, no initiative needed there.
Okay. Kobold, what are your friends doing here?
They were scouts from the Emerald Dragon.
Scouts from an emerald dragon.
Yes.
We don't want to stick around for a dragon as much as I might like to see one die.
I used to belong to this Emerald Dragon, and some of this party has encountered that Emerald Dragon himself. I think we all know that's not a good sign, and while the kobolds have a ways to run, there's ways of the dragon communicating through the forest. This town might not be here much longer.
Then I say let's head while we still have our heads and get out.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Yep, I'm down with that. I say we make a beeline to Sib's place, take a quick look, and then make it down the road. Get out of this forest.
All right.
Let's do it.
I want to make checks along the way. I can detect a dragon within 1 mile of us.
Okay.
Oh, that's super useful.
All right. So you guys head out. You sort of go down the trail. You can see
Is this the way towards Nicantes as well, Christian?
It is.
Or is this the only way in and out? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so you guys are going to kind of pass Sib's place on your way to Nicantes.
Okay.
But yeah, ignore the kobolds. They're long gone in the forest.
Great.
And ignore the no longer...
The blacksmith that ran off.
Yeah, Ian had a good name for him. I can't remember what it was, though.
For who?
The blacksmith.
Oh, the bald beard, the something.
Yes. Like I said, it was good.
Bald beard the broken.
There you go. Bald beard the broken. But you guys head down the trail. Cameron, the entire Ranger Steve, the entire time you're making checks. Nothing on the dragon radar showing up, and you guys come to Sib's house. The door is flung wide open. You can't quite see inside, but it looks as if someone's been inside. You don't hear any noises coming from the house.
Can I sneak around the side?
Yeah, of course. So you kind of sneak around the back, and you can kind of peer in some windows here and there, and it looks like the place has been turned kind of like upside down. You go in the back, and where there were clearly rows of different botanical things and gardens and herbs and, you know, any number of different ingredients being grown. Somebody has hastily gone around and pulled all of these up from the ground, and you can see the dirt sort of track inside, and you sort of follow the dirt inside to where on the very center, like you don't even have to enter the building to see it, but on the very center floor, you see this, what looks like some sort of spell ring, like some sort of place where a teleportation has taken place. And you can see that. What's up?
Can I just walk straight in?
Sure. You walk straight in to see the exact same thing, and the place has been ransacked, but in its ransacked, like you could tell somebody knew where things were, or they knew what to take. Like all the chests and everything are gone. They didn't even waste time with a lot of the minor objects and things.
Can I walk over to like where she would keep her money and check and see if there's any money in it?
Yeah, so you sort of pick out a cabinet or in a chest and open it, and there's nothing inside. It's just cobwebs.
Guys, there's nothing in here. It's just cobwebs.
What? So, can you describe this magical circle a little bit more? What all are we seeing?
Well,
Yeah. So it
this
looks
this is a circle.
it looks like somebody has drawn on the ground with
They've
like
drawn on the ground here because for teleportation, that's a difficult spell. I would be the magic expert here in this situation, I would assume, and to cast such a spell such as this would take quite. You couldn't do it alone. You would need what some people call a gathering of witches to give you the power to do this, and probably I'll use my detective insights here to say that they weren't working alone, and old Haggy here was part of a bigger organization, and they came and they took all the evidence, so there's probably nothing here to see. We should probably just make our way to Pantytown.
on top of that beautiful analysis, it is a chalk sort of circle on the ground. You can see there's like a 7-pointed sort of star pattern on it, and obviously from the center outward, the chalk has been sort of pushed. There's a force, the portal opened, it forced even the chalk on the ground to sort of dissipate a little bit, be pushed out from the center. And things in the room also seem to be scattered in that pattern, just from the shock, the wave of energy that was sort of dispersed or displaced from that teleportation, that boom tube kind of thing.
So it looks like something from the center of the circle. There's a force that pushed everything out. So you can see the chalk's gone.
Right.
Or it's kind of spread out, the tables and
your
all
passive
the trash in here.
Yeah, your passive perception can tell that obviously one person was in charge of getting the herbs from outside. There were maybe 2 or 3, it's hard to tell, other people inside, collecting chests and various vials and things that you had seen in here before.
Does it look like there's any footprints around?
Yeah, I mean, they're not so much footprints as like somebody was like had a long sort of flowing cloak or gown or something and has been dragged behind them, so it kind of has raked away any good footprints, but you can tell that it's roughly your size, but all the figures that were in here were not the same size, just based on the tracks from the dirt outside and then the rummaging around inside.
Is there any spot in here for like a tea kettle that may have been hot? I guess what I'm looking for is something that may still be warm, like this was recently to have pushed it off, or blew out a candle recently, like if there's still a little bit of heat dissipating from there, if this just happened.
It seems as if, the best you could tell, the last time somebody was in here was late in the night.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's been a little while.
It has been, yes, a while.
Has the circle been broken at all?
So the circle hasn't been broken, no, but some of the lines from the center have been kind of erased from the force of the spell being cast. So the outer circle still in perfect condition. The inner lines, though, like between the 7-pointed star, have been, muddled or broken. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go and rejoin the group. Not walking through the house. I'm gonna walk back out
All right.
outside.
Does the outer circle look like it could be broken? Like, is it just like chalk?
Yeah,
like
it's just chalk.
ash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I want to break the circle from the door with a geyser blast.
Sure. You shoot the geyser out into the room, and it floods and immediately washes away. You don't get all of it necessarily. Like there's still some, but you can run it over if you really want to be thorough about it and eliminate the chalk.
I just want to break the circle.
Yep, you successfully break it. Yeah.
Okay. Do I see any 60-foot long rope in this building?
There is some rope, yes. It was not deemed worthy by whoever went and reclaimed all this stuff.
Good God, can we please give that to Tyrell?
That's the whole point. Can I please pick that up? Can I drape it around his shoulders?
Tyrell kind of looks at it and says, "I don't know. Is this He says, "Is this a cursed rope?"
This is not a cursed rope.
How do you
don't
know?
want to take it, I'm gonna hold on to it then. I'm holding on to the.
If you could hold on to the cursed rope, that'd be great.
Yep, I'll hold on to the cursed rope.
All right,
Yep.
because I've got a little bit of rope here. I've kind of grown connected to it, and I'm not sure I'm ready for a cursed rope yet.
Christian, you've said exactly what he would say in half the time. Oh, we can't be too mean. He's not here to defend himself, so we can't make fun of him too much tonight. But it's still pretty funny.
Tug, you still running around checking stuff?
Yeah, anything I can check. I'm just
The biggest, most interesting thing that they didn't take is a statue, like an iron statue, of what appears to be a soldier.
Can I investigate? Do I?
Yeah, so it is very lifelike. Like for an iron statue, which you don't typically see either, statues made out of iron, even down to the expression on the knight's face of like shock.
Guys, I think this might be a real human turned iron. Didn't we find some iron on a? No, weren't the hag's teeth iron? Did anyone keep those? Do we have the iron teeth?
Ranger Steve has a iron coin of the hag. Does it seem to match, Christian?
Yeah, I mean it both appear to be iron. The only difference between the statue and the coin being that the coin is like polished, and the statue just seems to be your stereotypical iron texture.
Does the statue at all look like Cassius Creedo?
It does not. This does not look like a person any of you have ever seen. You obviously from the door don't have as good of a look at it as Tug, but
yeah.
I want to yell from the door. Use your orb of true sight or whatever it's called.
Oh, I give it with my one bad arm. I give him pistol fingers,
mm-hmm.
And I pull out my orb of true sight.
You pull it out, and your orb of true sight, your crystal ball of true sight, cannot penetrate the iron.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
The iron seems to be like you're led to Superman, right? So it just is completely impenetrable to it. To you, it just appears iron.
I still think, this just looks like iron. I still think it's a real person. Let me see that iron coin. Can I tap him? Okay, tap the guy with the iron coin. See what happens.
It's up to Ranger
I'll
Steve
walk.
if he wants to give it to him.
Yep. I'll go in and
All right, you kind of walk across where you're broke the circle, no big deal. You go over to the knight, the iron knight, and you kind of tap him with the iron coin. There's a bit of a cling and a clang. Nothing happens.
all right. Well, I'm good. Go to Panty Town.
All right, let's go to Pantytown.
Guys, I don't think I like this joke.
Yes, I don't get their jokes. It is called Nicentes Arbitritis. That is the name of the town.
It's called My Panties Are What?
Nick Dante's
The name of the town.
Arbitritis is the name of the town.
Yes.
How did you guys know I wear armored panties?
Armored.
And for accompanying me on this quest, I have a gift for each of you. It might be best that as we go into the town, that not everyone knows that you are coming in. So please, everyone, take one of these large cloaks. And so I hand out a large cloak for my inventory to everyone in the group.
Sure thing.
And I put one on myself. So, and just so Tug's aware, it's about my height. Like they would each fit for me to pull over. I mean, not that it's going to hide that I'm, a large person, but it could at least work. And good luck getting that on your head.
I take the cloak, but I go, there's no need. I have my own. And I try to pull my hood over my head.
Yeah, you don't succeed yet again. The antenna are too much for your specific cloak.
Well, Lady Tug, maybe you could combine both the cloaks here and use one to put over your head and the rest to cover your body. God knows you could use some covering up to get into town. I would hate to draw you in and a pimp pull you off the street.
I don't know. My staff keeps me pretty safe.
Yes, well, it's not so much you that I'm worried about, lady, but these warriors here, it seems like trouble likes to follow them. Going into the town with not everyone gawking at, again, whatever you are, Madam Tug. I'm still not quite sure, but it would best to be unnoticed and not to have a crowd that prevents us from getting to the scale, because I know how much you are looking forward to talking business with the scale.
Yes, I definitely want to talk business with the scale, but a crowd being, introduced to Blibdo Pull-Up would also be definitely something worth having. So,
well, first appearances are definitely worth more in Nicentes than they may be other places. You don't want the wrong first appearance while we enter the town. If you were to go there and just make a large crowd, they might think that you're here to cause some more trouble. That would not look very good for business.
So Joni sort of taps Ranger Steve on the shoulder. And Ranger Steve, you've still been making your checks. There's not a dragon within a mile of you guys. But Joni kind of points to behind you, and in the forest, like kind of deep in there, you can see the little, like, shimmering eyes of kobolds. And Joni kind of whispers to you, he says, "They're following us."
All right. So Joni said his previous friends are watching us right now, so we better make our way.
He says, "I can try and go reason with them."
That's up to you. We sort of set you free. We gave you some clothes and some and an inhaler. So I mean, you're willing to. You're free. You're willing to hang out with us, but it's up to you, buddy.
He says, I'll stay in your company until you are free of Lambros. I suggest that we stay on the outskirts and stay as close to Ember Peak as possible without actually treading on the mountain. Even the Emerald Dragon will refrain from revealing himself from his forest.
All right. He says we should pretty much stick to the edge of the forest and kind of stay close to Ember Peak, and we should be all right.
Well, let's not lose our wits about us. There are more things along the edge of the forest than just an emerald dragon. I'm sure that you all ran into plenty of those things in Lambros Forest. So let's be cautious as we go.
So yeah, you guys continue your way. Even though it looks like you're going the exact same way that you came from, you're not. And you pass Sib's house. You continue to head east across Morningstar, staying in the outskirts sort of Lambros. You get back sort of out of the forest to where you can see Ember Peak, where you can see the cursed field beyond of like old armor and freshly rotting corpses. And you continue to follow the tree line around. There's a bit of a open field now to your left where it doesn't look like it's the cursed land with all the horrible mangled people. It's, you know, out in the open, but it's a nice sort of field blowing in the breeze at this point after all of your adventures today and travel. The sun is starting to set a little bit, but you still have the light of Ember Peak to guide you guys. It would be about the time that you would normally decide to camp somewhere for the night. Joni says that we should be okay here in the field if we do need to take a rest, but we can continue trekking as well. He says that he knows on the other side of Lambros that we probably have at least a day's travel before we'll get to Nick Danthe's, and he kind of gestures to Detective Easter to like confirm his estimate of time.
I mean, guys, this looks like a great place to take a long rest. I mean, we don't want to push ourselves.
If we're gonna
We don't
stop,
want
I just
to
wanna
stay
know,
too
why are we
close to the
going to this
forest.
panty place?
That is a very good question. I was asked to come and find this clan here. They are going by the name of the Zoo Warriors, Electric Boogaloo. I am a detective in Nicantes and was asked
Everyone
to come and find
reads off that
these
it's
warriors.
pull up in the Amazing Five.
Stop talking. Continue, private.
Detective, but thank you, Rachel. But yes, I was asked to come and search for this warrior clan here, and that took me to Edgewood, where I ran into them and ran into you during a battle. Of course, you were your other form at that time. And so I haven't gotten to know these warriors very well yet, but we are headed back to my city so that they can share some insights about the Kuatoa and some trade.
Well, cool, interesting. I'm glad I get to know this. Now, you might have to re-explain it to my other half when that time comes.
I have very much patience, especially with those who are patient with me. So I shall explain it as many times as needed to your other half.
You know who else is patient with those who are persistent is Blue Pull Up. Those who seek will find in the arms of Blue Pull Up.
Can you tell us a little bit about my panties? You know, what are we expecting there?
Are we camping?
Well, they're made of armor. Oh, you mean the town?
Yes, I don't mean your chastity belt. The town.
No,
Are we
So,
camp?
so Christian,
It's up to you
yeah,
guys.
I guess first we want to, I think that we should still continue on. Let's walk a little bit further into the night, get some more distance between us, get closer to the city. We have plenty of light from Ember Peak. Let's keep going. We rested plenty the other night.
Joni,
I've already like started gathering firewood. Like
Jo-
I've got an armful of firewood.
Joni says that there are, vast number of sort of little pockets in Ember Peak that you could sort of duck into and make a nice, secure sort of campsite in as well. He said the field is not the only option here. It would be a defendable position as well if you were to pick the right sort of crag in Ember Peak.
I agree with the kobold. We should find a better place. It's not wise to just sit and sleep out here on the edge of the forest.
And besides, one of those pieces of firewood's my staff. Give it back.
Oh. I'm so sorry. So sorry. As I just like throw the wood up in exhaustion. Like, fine. We can just carry on. What is carry on? Not like some of us are tired.
As we're carrying on, Christian, could you explain, I guess, sort of what general stuff might be for Nine Canties for Detective Easters for the group?
Yeah, so he kind of goes over a shopping list of things that the city's known for. Obviously, the Artificers College is a big sort of staple of the city. They kind of revitalized Nictanthes from its old sort of history. It was kind of a town on its downturn, but now it's a much more happening place. It's a nightlife kind of city because of the technology that's been developed by the Artificers College. The main sort of good they produce is lightning in a bottle. It's got many different names and slang for it, but this is like an energy source, like a non-magical energy source that allows power to be brought to a many number of technologies across the city, whether they be handheld or, in the case of the city itself, the city illuminates at night, so there is light, and that's why it has such a vivid nightlife in Nictanthes. The daytime stuff, it's almost like everybody kind of clams up and kind of goes inside. All the activity obviously happens around the time. It's got a long history of a bunch of noble families. How they get the lightning in the bottle is from the giant windmills on these structures, these noble houses. So the bigger the windmill, the more ornate, the more electricity they bring in, the wealthier they are, the more standing they have in the community. But Detective Easter kind of reluctantly tells you that there's a lot of things that are legal. There's like these clashing sort of ideas of what's allowed and what's not allowed. So while alcohol is not legal in Nictanthes, the sort of opposition has risen to that, and there's lots of speakeasies, so it's a little bit harder to get a drink, but these places still do exist. Entertainment is one of their large staples. They have a world-renowned theater there. There's everything from they're big into botanical medicaments and things, like potions. And weirdly enough, one of their oldest exports is wine. Even though it's illegal, the Nictanthes Arbitritis family, the ones that are named, or the city's named after them, on their grounds, alcohol is legal, and they produce blackberry wine.
Really, blackberry wine.
Blackberry wine, yes.
You should try it sometime, Tug. You might like it.
Probably not.
Okay. Well, that's enough about my town. How about our newest friend here. Tell us a bit about yourself, Soul.
Well, I
So
know.
wait, I'm confused. Are we camping or
You're
not?
walking at the moment towards, along the edge of Ember Peak and the forest until you sort of come across a defendable, nice little nook in the mountain.
I start just pointing out little nooks, like anything that might even look remotely nooky. I'm like, there's a nook.
Out of all the ones you pick, there is a pretty nice one. It's sort of a wedge. It's not visible from the road because it kind of like trails in a little bit to the left and then hooks around, so you would be concealed from anyone walking on the trail. But
And I'm basically just explaining this to everyone right now. Like, look, guys, there's a nook. It's concealed, very defensible. Ranger can take first watch. I think this is the spot.
Joni does kind of look at the group like, that's might be a good one.
I can tell that Joni's like eyeing it, and I'm like, look, even little guys on my side here. Like, I give him a claw up, like one little snapper up.
Gotcha. Yeah. He kind of looks at his hands and then looks back at you and then kind of puts his hands down.
Well, be it from me to keep a woman on her feet all day. Let's settle in for the night, I guess, and fortify our position.
Sure thing. Beautiful visuals here. You guys are gonna have to use your imagination.
So, Soul,
Ooh, so
please tell
nice.
us, now that we are settled in, please tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I do know the basics, but my other half knows a lot more. So I'll give you what I know. I know that I am a guardian from the moon, but I've lost my powers in this form to learn something. So I don't know. I just kind of wander around as much as I can, trying to be helpful.
And which of the two moons are you from?
Oh, the one straight up,
Gotcha.
the northern one.
The north. I'll give you the
northern one. I didn't get that at first. I like it.
I'll give you the two moon names later, but I've got two moon names. I just don't have them in front of me right now.
That one. So I was sent down here.
Who sent you
And-
down?
But I'm sorry, the screen kind of filtered in and out.
Who sent you down? I might have missed it. Can you hear me?
Did we lose him?
Possibly.
Still
Did we
there,
lose
you?
who?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Don't send me down, Bruce.
You sound
You-
very robotic.
You might have to log
might-
on and log back off, or log off then log back on. Reverse what I said.
Nice. But yes, to describe your position a little bit more, you would feel safe and not be, I guess, hurt by any means by starting a fire. Like, you wouldn't be too close to the fire or anything. But the rock around you is
Tug, do
just...
you need help starting that fire? I know you're not very good at starting fires.
Like, I'm asleep. He startled me by saying my name. Like, I kind of, yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, good, Tug. I'm glad that you're awake.
Yeah.
Your
Hey, Ranger,
companions here.
Ranger or Dragon guy, you should start a fire. Can't you, like,
Are you always this racist, or is it I'm just lucky today?
I'm tired and cold. Can you not? I mean, I see you staring. You obviously know I'm cold. Quit eyeing my flesh.
Trust me, Madam Tug. The last thing I want from you is a tug job. So,
It's Blib do pull up. Thank you.
is that what you prefer? I've
That
heard
is
many names and many genders for you. I'm not quite sure what to call you.
You need to quit trying to,
Alright,
and me
I'm back.
down.
I don't know what happened.
What in the fuck?
You're still a little robotic, but I could understand what you said that time.
Not a word. All I heard was.
He said he's back. He doesn't understand what happened, but he's back.
Well, that's been his character's plot from here on. So, just a
Just really get into character.
just a fire, please. Fire. I pick up some like leaves and stuff and just kind of put them in a little pile and I fire
It is a very pathetic pile of leaves, but it is there.
Yeah. Like,
Well, so I'll pull out a match for one of my cigars, light it, and just toss it on there.
All right. It sort of catches.
I knew you
You
had-
that I'm the
I knew you had the ability.
of fire, so I'm pretty good at building fire.
Is that a challenge? I perk up. Is that a fire challenge?
You still didn't
I
tell
thought
me
you
what you want your name to
said
be
you-
called, madam.
You're tired and you wanted to go to bed.
Yeah, you're just sleeping. Like go back to sleep.
No. She is up or he is up or whatever we should call this one. I'm still unsure.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, I would assume that Blib do pull up would want you to call him or her or them or they Blib do pull up. So I don't think you're wrong in any way you choose here, but it does appear as if with the breasts and everything that Blib do pull up is female, but
Yes. That was my assumption for old Tugga not here. But
Blib do pull up.
well, Blib do pull up.
Yeah.
Could you please humor me while we are stuck here in this little cranny of the mountain?
So,
Ranger
agent-
Steve here was telling me that you communicate with
a
your people
and a
through the
cross-
water.
I'll walk into a bar. I know because as soon as they got there, they started telling everyone about it.
I didn't hear anybody said.
Is that humorous enough for you?
Why
You were
don't you
talking
tell me the
about him.
story about you talking to your people through water?
or not.
Boo.
Are you there, Joshy?
Yeah, I have no idea if he's just ignoring me and refusing to talk or if he's jumping in and out. So I don't know.
We can continue with.
I kept getting kicked off, and now I'm on my phone.
Yeah, I
You're
had to
fine
get my
now.
phone on that. So, well, I guess we can jump back over to Ian's character. So, Soul, so you came from the moon, and what guardian sent you is what Ranger Steve just asked.
So I'm a guardian, and I'm sent to protect my queen, but she kind of banished me to Earth for a while. Because
And why were you banished?
My other form is kind of brash and I guess not how you should be as a guardian. So I'm here to be split and kind of teach myself how to be a better guardian. That's kind and sweet and nice. So here I
And
am,
this-
happy.
Well, we are happy to have your company with us, and we much appreciated the other forms help in the fight against the Annis hags.
Oh, she can be a bit rude, so I apologize in advance.
You only
And
killed
it's
like
a-
3 kids. Fine.
Yeah.
Tyrell sort of
Well-
says to himself almost. He says, "I killed a kid."
Oh no, you killed a kid? Oh. Oh yeah, that'll hold on you.
He says, well, it did raise back up from the dead, and then Ranger Steve shot it in the brain, and then it died again. He said,
After you
Wait,
tried to help it.
I thought Ranger
Well,
Steve said he did everything by himself.
he likes to embellish, I have found out.
I mean, I
But
did, but yeah.
Ranger Steve, I've talked about myself and my city. Soul has shared information about her. Blipty Pullup's been unhelpful in the conversation. So why don't you share a bit about yourself?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So I come from across the Anasi Sea. My community was pretty small. We kept to the land. We kind of learned from the land. And then my homeland was attacked by a bunch of strange creatures to us. And in the midst of the time of being continuously attacked, me and a couple other people my age um, were kind of destined in a way to become this group. And, we developed skills as rangers long before. And then we were kind of blessed in the community, and we gained new powers, and we were tasked to defend our community. Um, we did so. We lost our leader, Ranger Craig, in battle. But when we won, everything calmed down again. So I came to Morningstar to sort of expand my horizons a bit and sort of find out what was going on to see why our community was attacked. So, I made it across Morningstar, made it to the west side, and met up with this crew, and we've kind of been saving lives ever since. We've done zero harm the entire time.
You've convinced me of that thoroughly. Well, Ranger Steve, I'm sorry to hear about your people.
What about what? So, I thought I heard Soul say something.
Oh yeah, what about you, Detective?
Well, I am Tundraka Easter of the Tundraka clan. My clan resides in the Dragonborn district of Nicantes. So I have lived my whole life basically in the city since my clan originally migrated towards the city. And, I got employed as a beat cop. It wasn't uncommon to see that some people were a little bit more racist and that crimes were going unsolved and attacks were happening on Dragonborn in our territory. And so we decided that we needed to stop that. So myself and another, he was my partner, his name was Triceracop, we joined the force, both as beat cops back in the day. Now I am a detective serving the city.
You have any spare cigars?
Here, take one. And I hand him a cigar and light it for him.
I want to say thank you in Draconic.
You do
You're
it.
welcome.
I assume Toad's
So-
passed out.
This city, your interest in us is specifically about the Kuatoa and some trade value. And your superiors
I hear Kuatoa and I immediately pop up awake. Like, huh? Yeah, Kuatoa. Yeah. Good people.
Please
Is that-
continue, Ranger Steve.
Is that the only reason you would like to bring us to the city?
Well, I must confess that I have some interest in a member that's no longer with your party, a Mr. Billy Banger. I was hoping to learn a bit more about him as well. It seems he has connection to a open case that I'm working, a narcotics case.
Yeah, I can tell you anything you need to know about Billy Banger. What's your question?
Well, why don't we save that till we get down to the station? I want to make sure that everything here is on the record.
Yeah, no, I don't answer questions on the record. Sorry.
Well, perfect. I wasn't planning on calling you into my office anyways. I was hoping that the elf would accompany me, and it seemed he was the closest with a Mr. Billy Banger.
That's
sort
going to be
of-
the longest interview you've ever had in your entire life.
That's all that I need for my details then.
You guys
So-
can have that session without me.
Well, first I will take you before the scale so we can work out this bit of logistics, as we might call it, for the trade. The trade has gone awry, and the Kuatoa seem to have been an effect of that. And you all now have confirmed that you, specifically Madam Blib du Bulib here, are in control of the Kuatoa. So we'd like to rectify any grievances and move forward.
Why are you so intertwined with not only being a cop, but also logistics and trade?
Well, my job is to do what my superiors tell me to do. I was told that a group who seem to have trouble following them, which definitely seems to be the case with you all. It seems like trouble is following you around every corner. Has gotten up to a few things, and that's what caused the brokenness of the trade. So I was asked to look into the matter and to see what I could find out about your clan, your zoo warrior clan. That is whenever I discovered that Billy Banger may have been amongst the clan, and I was hoping to interview him. But now I shall interview Tyrell instead.
I mean, he did kill a child, so he's probably the most treacherous of us all.
He
Yeah,
said-
you saw him kill
An
that
undead child. Undead one.
No, you killed him before he died.
I didn't mean to do it.
You brought
I didn't see who killed anyone in battle other
You-
than the Anisags. I was not bothered with the children that you all seem to enjoy fighting.
So you're not bothered by children dying in your city of my panties?
I am very bothered with children dying in the city. I, however, was concerned with the two large Anisags in front of me and not attacking children behind me. I do not know what happened in the battle, but if you say that Tyrell here had to kill an undead turned child, then it seems that he would need
He
to
didn't
answer
I
for
even
any
tried to help
crimes
it
that
up
he had committed.
afterwards. None
He
of you
didn't-
can dispute that.
have
You-
to kill the child. He chose to kill the child.
Yeah,
He
no,
brought-
killed
No,
him
see,
before
I
it was
have
undead.
He brought
I have this iron hand that's very new to me, and I've never
brought
used it before. And it's a prosthetic, and I'm hoping that when we get to Nictanthes, that the Artificers College can maybe I can buy some schematics or blueprints to make a better working one, so I don't have to wield this hunk of iron around on my hand.
Well, I think you'll find that you
Still
can be a lot more
involuntary
useful.
manslaughter,
we're
so
going
I mean,
But
Well,
you,
in
you,
Nicantes, it is blood for blood and then some. We were attacked in the open, and an unwarranted attack, especially on an official of Nicantes, is not to be looked down upon.
yeah.
So for you all to act accordingly, I do not see that as a consequence of law, other than a matter of self-defense.
And you shot a kid with your geyser, so
yeah, but he didn't die. That's why
Yeah,
I shot him with the geyser.
he could have
Shot a
died.
kid. You shot a kid with your geyser. How dare thee?
I mean, he attacked us with knives, so I just was pushing him back.
Yeah, and
I
the
definitely
one
didn't
that I tried to knock out attacked us as well.
punch him in the face with my metal hand.
I told you it's a new hand. I'm not used to it.
Well,
Anyways.
Madam Blip,
You brought the heavy head. You brought the heavy hand right down on him. I mean, like, you knew what you were doing.
I was trying to protect you, Tug. You were down on the ground.
It was a child. I didn't need protecting. You smashed in a child's head.
You looked dazed and confused when you had been knocked out of the barrel, and you did look spiteful. I even saw you spit on one of the children.
Anyways.
well, if any of you are worried about the battle, I am not here to arrest you for battling an Anishag and some turned children under the watch of an Anishag. I am here to bring you back to the scale just to report on the Kuatoa. And Madam Blibdupulapir seems to be the right person.
Well, Tug and I are all about business. We are looking to definitely make some money.
There is business. There is opportunity, and there's a lot of old money in Nicantes.
You guys
know what?
don't know anything about business. I'm the one running the business deals here.
You know what I love about old money is when it becomes my new money. So you tell me how to make the old money my new money, and we might be able to strike a deal.
Well, first, can you tell me about these barrel conversations that you have with the Kuatoa?
Everything's a city. What?
Why does the detective make everything in this city sound like it's a brothel or sexual? Old
maybe
money?
it is.
What? You're a sex detective.
Sex crime. Cue the 80s music. Yes.
I just want to be sure we're
I
not
don't think
stepping
it'd be
into a
right
trap.
for this form to go in there.
Like we
But
just
the
met
question
you. I don't know. I don't want. You're telling us this stuff. I just want to make sure we can trust you. You're already willing to trust the lobster here, but I don't know what we're walking into in my panties.
We've known each other for a long time. It's
And you still look like a lobster. That's not going to change, buddy.
It doesn't seem like you all trust each other. I don't know if I trust you as far as I could throw you.
I mean, no, he attacked a innocent dwarf for literally doing nothing, so I wouldn't trust him at all.
Yes. Now, I'm not going to be sleeping with my back turned, and one of you might stab me in the middle of the night. You haven't earned my trust yet.
Well, luckily,
I'm taking you because it is my job to come and find you and to bring you back. I've brought back plenty of people before. Not all are criminals. My job as a detective is not only just to solve cases, but it is to find missing persons as well. And in this case, you were classified as missing persons. Do you not remember the flyer?
Ranger, I mean, I'm kind of with you. Do we really want to go back to my panties with this guy? Like, he could be setting us up for a bounty. Billy was kind of crazy, and now we're going to get the blame for him being psychotic. He already said he had an open
Trust me, the things with Billy Banger. Well, tell me, has
for
Billy Banger
blame for Billy Banger's discretions?
I doubt any of you know much about Billy Banger's younger and some of his involvements there. Do any of you happen to know a wizard that was accompanying Billy Banger?
You mean his crow?
He had a crow with him. Is this true?
I don't remember a wizard, no.
You see, I'm looking for a wizard. Went by the name of Walter Knight. You might have known, Billy may have mentioned one of his aliases along the way. Big Wiz, Heisenbro, Coconut. any of those names sound familiar?
Right. He named his crow after his
Big
friend.
Wiz. He named his crow Big Wiz. That's right. Yeah. I remember that.
So which is it? Was it Coconut or Big Wiz?
I don't believe anybody ever spoke coconut. I think Big Wiz is the only thing that was spoken.
So
No,
so
it was
Billy did know Big Wiz, or was it Coconut? I don't know. It's hard to believe either of you two. You can't seem to have your stories straight, whether you're talking to me or talking to a black, or even each other.
It was coconut.
It was Big Wiz.
Regardless, that
Okay.
wizard has
Tyrell-
gone missing.
Tyrell speaks up and says, "It was coconut."
Yes. Well, thank you, Tyrell. I say that in Elvish, and I'm going to continue in Elvish to Tyrell. We need to have a further conversation about Billy Banger and his involvement with this wizard. He is one of the known associates of this wizard that is involved in a major drug operation. I believe that this wizard may have been using the gnomes and taking shrooms from their area before turning them into crystal shrooms, which he would sell into Nicantes. Long-term side effects of this may include impulsiveness, murderous tendencies, lying, believing things that aren't true. Short-term side effects, of course.
That sounds a lot like Billy, and you know, Billy did some things, but Billy, he was our friend, and I think he was wronged, and I don't want to besmirch his legacy, but
Well, there hasn't been a single gnome arrested. Most of them had no idea that they were involved in this drug operation at all. Most of them were taken in by these wizards. And more or less, the wizards used their resources without really the knowledge of what was happening. But nevertheless, Billy was a known associate of Walter Knight, aka Coconut. And so I just had a few wrapped up questions. Yes. Just being in the village, there have been lots of side effects of the gnome villages and these people changing, and even some of the people who used it, there's blindness and deafness that occurred.
As long as it doesn't incriminate, and granted he's not with us anymore, but as long as it doesn't incriminate Billy, I'd tell you everything I know.
Well,
I may change my
this
mind.
wizard's only gone.
I'm
This
not
wizard's
feeling
only gone missing in the past few
quite
days.
like
I was
myself,
hoping to meet.
but-
Yes, I was just hoping to, speak with you a little bit further, and I don't see any incrimination as to Billy into this case. I'm more or less just trying to find a missing person, and Billy was a last known associate, because this wizard was slinging drugs, and so I have to follow up on all leads for this missing person now.
Cool.
Okay, so I guess I'll switch back to common.
Sure. Sorry, guys, we were having a moment.
Well, we don't appreciate it.
You get to talk in Draconic all the time.
I always say what we talk about.
Oh, we talked about rope.
I've got a rope right here. I mean, I tried to give it to you. But
Not cursed ropes, though. Maybe
Just
if we
good.
can speak to a shaman or something, or like we can dispel the rope and make sure it's not cursed, because I just, ropes are very precious to me, and I don't want to, after I was parted with the last one so abruptly to make the basket on the back of Tug, I've got connection issues with ropes, so I need to make sure it's the right one before I move forward.
I'm just holding the egg at this point.
My God, woman, that is a large egg. Is that a kuatoa that you are holding?
turn away from him and hide the egg.
It's a owlbear egg.
An owlbear egg? Oh, dear God.
Yeah.
What did you
we
all
were-
do?
We were kind of tasked to raise it by this Kieran. Like
You
big-
all ran
big-
into a Kieran?
Big unicorn
What?
thing almost killed us, and then, for the betterment of everyone, and I guess they, like Billy and him kind of shared a god, and they got on this huge, like, euphoria thing, and they were talking to Helm, and then they, Billy just jumped in this pool of black ooze, and then the Kieran kind of touched his horn to the pool, and it all got absorbed into his horn, and then we just left it there on the ground. That's the short of it.
Ranger Steve, does it seem like my cigars are laced, or is this story here accurate? Every story I hear from you guys seems like a mythical tale of chaos and a little bit of razzle dazzle.
Oh, well, Tug's all about chaos. He's a chaos mage.
Yeah, and there's lots of razzle dazzle in our stories, but that's pretty true. If I remember right, Tyrell did not want to pick up that horn, so we left it there.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I've got an aversion to cursed stuff. That is definitely a cursed thing.
Yeah, he's got an aversion to anything, ever, even telling us the true story. So I wouldn't actually assume you'd get any sort of true story out of him.
Yeah,
He wouldn't, he wouldn't even tell us about his dad. So, but
It's a
we
sore
can talk about that
subject.
on a different day.
That's family matter. It's a sore subject for me. I'd
I
rather-
understand. You do not have to talk about your father now, and maybe if you feel comfortable later, we can discuss that.
Didn't
I just don't
didn't
understand-
didn't Soul
I
say
just don't
that?
Why my father would leave? Like, I mean, I was a good kid growing up. I had powers. I tried to control my powers. Do you know how hard it is to just have these powers and no one to guide you as you're growing up? Look, I even take after him. I have his complexion. I have his bubbling personality. And no, he just left. And Mom really never had anything to say about it. She just, longingly talked about her journey into the, gathering plants when she met my father. And I don't understand. I don't know.
It's okay. It's okay, Tug. I totally get where you're coming from. Sometimes your parents, they just, are bad or just die, and that really sucks.
I mean, almighty power can't show up for his son's 18th birthday. I just don't get it. I mean, like,
Was your father a sea god, perhaps? Seeing as you are blib to pull up.
No, I think he's a genie. Maybe he's trapped granting someone's wishes. Maybe your dad wants to come and see you, but he can't. Just like my dad probably wants to see me, but he can't because, he's like dead.
I mean, it's 3 wishes. It can't take that long. I mean,
Huh?
it's only been.
Maybe one of the wishes was to set him free.
I mean, yeah, he was free, and he still hasn't come and seen me. I mean,
maybe he doesn't know you're alive.
Maybe it's your mom's fault then. Yeah, maybe, she tricked him into having you.
No, that's not how it works. He had it on with my mom.
You seem to know an
maybe that
awful
was
lot
one of-
about a father you never even met.
Maybe that was one of her wishes, was to have a child, and then he was like, I don't know you.
Speaking of the Kieran thing, though, Soul, didn't you say you're like god or patron or whatever was like? Can you tell us more about the Kierans? Because we had a very brief run in with the things, and they're pretty cool, I guess.
And by we, he does not include me in that.
No one has included you yet.
I like to make the difference here. I think it might matter in impressions.
Because ours was kind of mean, but it was sent from Helm and said we were bad guys. And I mean, I don't know if that's really true.
Well, we worship the planets and the moon, and so we follow the alignment of the stars.
Cool. So, like, yeah, so our Kieran just sucked then, is what I'm getting.
I mean, it could be. They only want what's right and good, and will do anything that can get there. So I guess like they can be a stinker if they don't understand that it doesn't. There are gray areas.
Yeah, I think he just didn't have all the information because he thought we were cursing the forest, and then it turns out this, like, blood from Corellin that fell to the Morning Star a long time ago was doing it, and then that's when he stuck his horn in the pool, and yeah, it's a big thing. That's when Billy died. But you never met Billy.
Oh well, it doesn't sound like Billy was the brightest or the nicest.
Not nice, yeah, sometimes, but you know, he didn't have to die. I'm gonna stop talking.
I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder and pat him. He seems upset about talking about Billy again.
Thanks.
I didn't realize he was a close friend of yours. I apologize. I don't know him, so I bet he had good traits.
Yeah, I'm sure we could all say nice things about Billy. But we don't have to do that now because I like Ranger, Steve, and Tug. They've got so many nice things to say they don't even know where to begin, and then we just don't even have to get into it. Yeah.
He sure can fall real well right into a pit of bliss.
What?
He knows how to die. Thankful for that.
Yeah, like I said, we don't even have to get into it. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. I want to say you guys don't know anything about true loss. I want to blow a smoke ring in the shape of a mastodon.
Just a big, slow, billowing mastodon. Just the most, like, depressing. Yeah. I lost my parents. And my hand.
I've never known my father.
Both of my parents are alive and well.
Good to know. I'd like to meet him sometime.
Well, I wouldn't suggest that you guys, when we get to the city, just decide to go and wander around the Tundraka district. I can't imagine that would end up well for you.
I'm gonna do that so bad now. So.
Well, perhaps work on your manners before you get there.
Oh, my manners are fine.
Is that the sex district?
Red light.
It is not the sex district.
There is so.
If you're looking
so
for work,
I was
I'm
gonna
sure
say
you could find some.
What is the sex district?
So there, you can through Detective Easter here, I can tell you of the one brothel in the town that is well known, is called Williams Broadsword. And Williams Broadsword is known for high class entertainment, but the drinks are extremely expensive. So people usually recommend that you go to like the Rat's Nest or something to get a cheap drink and get well and thoroughly drunk first, and then go to Williams Broadsword. And the Williams broadsword is like right across from the gym of Nick Danthe's, like that's the name of the theater. So that's why they have a lot of good like talent and production, is because they're theater girls.
Well, Detective Easter, I think we could be able to help you out with some cases while we're in town. As you can tell, we blend in very well.
Well, why don't you help me crack the case and solve the case of getting the zoo warriors to the scale without causing any trouble? Could we try that? That seems like a good case to solve first. Let's start there, and you can work your way up. Perhaps one day you might even make it to the level of a beat cop.
I mean, that's just insulting. Who'd want to be a beat cop?
Well, I was a beat cop for a few years, along with the best damn cop I ever knew, Triceracop.
You kind of speak like Triceratops.
No one cares about
Dead.
Triceratops.
So you've lost someone too. This is the fire of depressing matters. Did you lose Triceracop?
Yes. Triceracop died in the line of duty.
Tyrell kind of puts his hand on your shoulder, but obviously has to kind of reach for it.
Which hand?
His iron hand. He notices there's still kind of dried blood on it, and he kind of quickly takes his hand off of Detective Easter.
Oh, sorry, that's the evidence. Let me take this away.
But
Okay,
what happened to Triceracop? But
Well,
you don't have to talk about it, because I don't talk about my parents. But
yeah. Well, Triceracop and I were both beat cops for quite a while. And then we were, working
Lovers.
just in. No, we were not lovers. We were both Chandraka male. We were not lovers.
Sexy lovers.
Did you be?
Yeah, they were sword swallowers. It's okay.
Now, you might be able to insult me, but I will not stand for insults of Triceracop or any of the other Chandraka.
I get it. I don't take kindly to people insulting my lovers either.
Yeah, so I'm going to pull out my baton.
all right, you
I'm
stand
gonna
up
start
and pull out your
I'm gonna
baton.
start clapping my hands. Yeah! Woo!
The insults of Triceracop can stop right there.
Okay, buddy. So how did he die?
He died in the line of duty. He actually solved the case of murders of many different children in town. Children would go missing, and the parents would end up dead, and the kids no trace in sight. We assumed that they were dead as well. Triceracop was able to track down the killer, and in doing so, in stopping that killer, he lost his life in that battle, but brought peace to Nicentes.
Well, I mean, good on him. Sounds like a good buddy.
Yes. He was the best damn cop that I ever worked with.
So let's talk about these scales. Do we have to stand on the scales? Are we being weighed against other people?
The scale is her title.
So her actual name, and you know this, is High Justice Ginsburg.
I just found that out right now, but yes, I did know that.
Yeah.
Yes. High by Justice Ginsburg is The Scale. That is her title, The Scale of Justice.
And she's wanting me to promise her safe passage of her goods. What is she?
You're just trying to establish, like, she's trying to establish, are you friend? Are you foe? What's your, like, what are your means? What do you plan to do? Like, somebody can't roll in through, like, a giant trade city, take over 1/3 of it, and not have them be interested in it, because they, obviously where they're at on the map is right at the base of Ember Peak. So all trade kind of goes from west to east and east to west through Nyctanthes. So they need to know and secure, that trade route and know, are you friend or foe? Are you going to, benefit trade? Are you going to help? Are you going to continue to grow the city? Or are you a menace? Are you going to, sever the ties between these trade lines?
Okay, so the reason we even went to the Trident and found out what was going on there, did you guys know about all the slave trade and all the wrongdoings going on there?
No, you didn't.
No, I personally do not know all the comings and goings of the Trident.
So you're
In
telling
fact,
me,
I hadn't heard about
you're telling
the
me that
Year of Warriors.
an entire culture of detectives and the main law in this area had no idea that the area you were doing all this trade business with was
It's a completely different city, like miles and miles away, and he's just one detective in the many.
Hey,
so...
we're picking apart your story, Easter, okay?
Hey, metagame.
Not metagame. No. I'm trying to provide perspective, which is what my job is to do. And you guys constantly act like Detective Easter here knows all of the answers and is directly in charge of everything that goes on in this city, when he is at most just a soldier sent to be.
It's a beat cop who's finally got an opportunity, and now he's coming at us. Well, guess what, buddy? Coming back.
Coming back to Nyctanthes with him? Yeah, okay.
I'm coming back in them panties.
I'm sure you are, Tug, and I'm sure that's not the first time someone has tugged back into your panties.
Oh, it is definitely not the first time someone's tugged at my panties. I mean, look at me. Panties are always being tugged on.
I'm just gonna shake my head no. Like, no. Everyone's scared of him.
But it's not unreasonable to assume that possible slave trade or other uncivilized barbaric manners are occurring on that half of Morningstar. Y'all seem to have no sense of justice over there.
That is not true. Let me tell you, that place is running like a top now that the Kuatoa are there. They're helping the people. They're cleaning up the community. They're opening up trade routes. They're bringing more people into the fold. I mean, the place is booming. From everything I can hear, place is booming.
I am going to metagame here, and I've never heard running like a top, but that doesn't sound very consistent.
I'm sorry, what?
He said the town was running like a top. Is that what you said?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Running like a top.
I didn't know that was a phrase. Tops are, I just, like,
yeah,
they
tops have
inevitably
very
stop.
eventual endings.
It's running like a plateau. It's up there.
You guys have never heard running like a top?
No.
No. I've heard of Old Top.
Does it mean not running well? Because
No, even Google it. If you put in running like, it comes up. Running like a top.
Like a
that
Beyblade top?
That is not a phrase.
It says running like a cheetah when I type it in. So
To appropriate
Why, like,
flawless
season to go in a circle?
y'all are wrong. I have no idea how you've never heard of. Seriously, Google it. It comes right up. Put in "running like a"
No,
and top.
the phrase is "run top," not
No.
running like a
No,
top.
I see it. If you type in running a top, to operate flawlessly and smoothly.
I don't know how you guys have never heard "running like a top."
What does run top mean? To operate flawlessly and smoothly.
Yeah, what does "run like a top" mean? Run like a top, Urban Dictionary. Someone who has possessed a clout chasing.
Sound it out.
I got it, Cameron.
Oh goodness. You know, the bickering back and forth between Tug and Steve, Cameron and Josh, and even Old Red and Officer Dangle, it never ceases.
Well, we can. It's not quite
A top.
10.
So
You're
for y'all
not
who-
wrong. It is a phrase. I just personally
Well-
think that is a poor phrase.
Okay, well,
Well,
you don't.
so I wanted to
don't
ask. I wanted to ask Tug
You
a
don't
question at least.
understand that
before
a top used to be,
Here we go.
like a dreidel, like Beyblades. What would you call them?
A top. Battle tops.
N- like oh my gosh, in Inception, what did he not call that a top?
Yeah,
What did he call it?
and what happened in Inception? Know that
It never stopped spinning.
Yeah, that was when he was dreaming.
Nope. That was reality.
Oh, okay. You know what rhymes with top? Stop.
I'm just telling you that that's where the phrase comes from, running like a top, because when they're spinning, they're perfectly balanced and
You know what both the winner and the loser of a Beyblade game eventually succumb to?
gravity.
The cease of movement. They stop moving, like, because tops don't spin forever.
That's dark. So you're gonna ask Tug something there, Private Easter?
Detective Easter
Sorry.
Ranger. Yes, Tug. So,
Easter, what were
Steve
you?
here. Well, it was about your Kuatoa, and you're talking about how you're getting reports that they're doing so well. I'm told that you communicate with them through barrels, or perhaps just the water. How does that work? I'm very curious.
Why does he always go quiet? Is this intentional? You go quiet
yeah,
every time he
yeah.
has a.
As soon as you ask him something, it's like
I've asked
every single
I've asked like
time.
20 questions, and then every time I've asked him a question, he just does not answer.
He talks all the time until you ask him something. I don't get it.
This is
The
just gonna be a thing.
The
it's
lady's
fine.
just shy. The lady's just shy to answer, apparently. Direct questions are too difficult. It's easier to butt in when somebody has asked somebody else a question and you think that you're involved.
Well, I can tell you if you'll believe me, but you might want to take it for his word.
Please go ahead and tell me. I don't think I'm getting any words out of Lady Tug tonight.
Yep. So he is Blib do pull-ups, but I've never seen him do a pull-up. And he can talk to his Kuatoa people. One specifically, he named Hewick for some reason. We were all very perplexed of where the name came from. And so he can talk directly to him. He's kind of his first command. And then Hewick then sends out people in his group to do Tug's version of good deeds.
Blib do pull up. Okay, come on. Hewitt communicates with Blib do pull up.
Right. That's what I said. I said Tug.
No, you said Tug. It's Blib do pull up.
Right. Yeah. We're saying the same thing.
No, we're not.
Well, please, madam, set the record straight. I've heard him, her, he, she, they, Lib do pull up, and Tug. Please set the record straight. I'd like to call you by your proper name.
And Blib and Tuggernaut.
Jesus Christ.
Well, fuck you too, then.
Well,
I mean, if you want to hear all about the Kuatoa, I am glad to help unless he wants to perk up. So I can give you all the
Perfect.
information you need.
Well, I can't wait to give old Tuggernaut here the perfect introduction to the scale. I'm sure she'd be happy to know about how helpful this one's been.
he'll probably clam up when he gets to the scale too.
That'd be pretty funny. Yes. So you said that they're enacting Tug's will. Does that seem correct?
Yeah, if the price is right.
Oh, so they barter with Tug and Tug pays them to do things, or is it just whatever Tug decides that they do blindly and loyally?
It's more of like a sexual favor thing. They have this weird connection telepathically, and I mean, he comes out of the water very happy, so I assume there's some give and take.
Tyrell
Maybe
kind of
some tug
chimes
and
in,
pull.
and he says, "Yeah," and they drink his blood and eat his flesh.
Yeah, and
That
suckle on his
sounds
bosom. It's just, yeah.
that sounds like the weirdest thing I've ever heard. I doubt that part is true, Tyrell.
I know. I drank some of his blood once. It wasn't so bad.
I mean,
What are you people?
we
With electric
are
boogaloo, too.
Flip Do Pull Up and the Amazing Five. I don't know how else.
Back to the original name.
Tyrell just starts counting on his hands, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, Flip Do Pull Up and the Amazing Five.
So he kind of looks at the new members, and he's like they're part of the 5.
Tyrell, please do not count me.
I mean, we can be Blib Do Pull Up and the Amazing Four.
No, I'm not in that group either. So
Tyrell,
No, you are.
Tyrell says we lost a lot of people in the woods too. We told our friend Tony to go off, and he.
I take it. I like bow my head a little bit. There's a little tear that drops. Like, I'm sure Tony's still out there though. That man, he knows how to survive.
And Leonidas is gone. Mr. Pickles is gone. Stalker is gone. There's a lot of people that went missing in the forest, yeah.
Well, Lambros is not a place to go for a visit. I will not just trudge in there.
Weird things may be happening around that area. We definitely have no idea.
Well, please do not let me monopolize all the conversation tonight. Lady Soul, what are you looking forward to in Nicantes? I appreciate you accompany me and the warrior clan, or the Blib Du Pull Up clan, whatever they go by now. I do not know. I appreciate you accompanying us along the way, and for all the aid that your counterpart gave us in battle. It has been much appreciated. If there's anything that I can do to help while we are in the city, please do not hesitate to
me,
ask.
guys. I mean, thanks for having me. I'm just trying to figure what good I can do so that way my two sides can come back together as one, and I can go protect my queen.
Well, you might find people who have better answers than I will for you in the city. We get all sorts there.
You may
You
even
guys have assisted me without even really getting to know both of me, so this is awesome.
Yes, your presence has been a bright spot on a very black stain.
Hot white thighs. Well, it's 10-ish o'clock, so we can wrap it up there. Just
Seems
kind
like a
of,
good spot to wrap it up.
I just wanted to give you guys, you know, your own rope to kind of talk to each other. Just get
It
to
went
know each
well.
other a little bit better. Yeah. Yeah.
You couldn't have asked for a better get to know you session. Everyone was chit chatter.
Yeah, Tyrell talked a lot this session, I feel like.
Yeah.
More than usual.
But I feel that while he wasn't completely himself tonight, I do feel like I did him justice.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Definitely.
think
like
And it also is justice if he doesn't listen to the recap of the episode, and we just have to repeat things to him whenever I talk about Billy and Mr. Drunk to him later. Like what?
Well, that's why I made sure to preface a lot of this with I'm agreeing to this now, but I may change my mind later.
Yeah.
I lost it, Christian. When I would not answer Kobe, and you just started laughing, I was losing. I had tears.
It was when Kobe was just like, "And fuck you." I was like, "Yeah, that's."
Fuck you.
We'll see how well this business deal goes for you now.
Yeah.
No, I still got to take him from the scale. I got to do my job. My job comes first.
Yeah.
Whether or
and
not
that-
you guys are assholes comes second.
And that's why I had to step in a little bit, is because you know, you guys are acting like he's the king of
I
Nick
know.
Danthy. It's
That's
like
why I kept
he's
going.
just-
I just wanted to hear him
just
improv
some-
and see if he would be able to say anything.
just
Well,
some
there's so
lowly
much I
detective.
don't know about the city.
I know.
Like Christian's just like, I'm like, I don't know anything really about the city. You're going to have to fill in a bunch of points here for me.
Yeah. That's why I tried
wanted
to step
see
in
him
when I could.
improv. It'd be so funny.
I mean,
Well, I don't want to just say stuff and then write it into the city. Oh yes, this is why. And now Christian's like, now I got to go and think that this is why, or just assume that Detective Easter is lying to them. So.
hey, that's not, you got to roll with the flow. I mean, you act like you were from this city. I ask you questions. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, and
Well, there's
he
certain
answered
questions
them
that I would
very
probably
thoroughly.
answer, truthfully or to the best of my knowledge. But
There's
don't-
even a
I don't know
moment
this stuff
there
yet,
where he kind of rambled a bit about you know, the city and just general goods. So
No, Ranger Steve is for sure gonna have dinner with your parents. So it's gonna happen.
I'm gonna have to find this evidence locker that is just full of magical.
Oh boy, yeah, I'm writing down dinner with the Chandraka clan right now.
oh, well, it'd be interesting to see what the dinner menu is for that night.
White cheese.
Probably human flesh is what it sounds like.
I'll have the Kuatoa bring us,
Wow.
the.
You're
the
gonna eat the Kuatoa?
Well,
I'll have the Kuatoa deliver the town of Edgewood for us, and we'll have plenty of white cheeks for dinner.
Oh, it was cheeks. It was hot white cheeks, not hot white thighs. I don't know why I went to thighs.
Yeah, it's hot white cheeks.
well, it would be interesting for you guys to walk into the Dragonborn district, the Tundraka district, and to be disrespectful for them. That I would love to see that.
I just picture Steve walking in like Aang and be like, "Hello, fellow hot man."
Hello, fellow Dragonborns. It's like, what the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, I didn't want to do
Yeah.
too much without Jared here tonight, so you got a little bit of action, a little bit of maybe some.
I appreciated the push out of the city with the kobolds. We
Yeah.
definitely needed that.
Yeah, I had to find some way to get you out of there. So
I was like, we are going to be here forever with these guys playing with these children.
If you waited like 10 seconds, we would have done the same
Wait.
outcome.
So hold on. I just want to try to understand. My guess is you shot the guy because he was saying along the same lines as the children. That's the only thing I can reason.
There's no
Or
reason.
did you just
for it.
or did you just shoot him
People.
for no reason?
For no reason.
What?
When you
The
shot the
blacksmith.
dwarf, there's zero reason for that.
The black guy was kind of getting full of himself.
he's a black guy now.
Black guy. My God.
The blacksmith who wanted to be called Blackbeard because he had black hair.
The blacksmith. Sorry. Yes.
Wow,
I-
very very revealing, Josh. Very
Wow.
revealing.
Oh my
Wow.
Gosh.
I don't even know how to come back from that.
You
because-
can't. That's
You
it.
might as well
Yeah,
start
R.I.P.
yeah.
Like wow, we can't even. We had to close the channel
We're gonna
down
be
now.
canceled.
Yeah, close the stream. Get the stream out of here.
Oh,
We're done.
God,
Let's
yeah.
say our
Guys,
goodbyes.
Oh man, yeah. Say
Canceled. Cancel culture. All of our viewers.
say you're good.
No,
no,
hold on.
everyone's-
Even
Get
better.
worse.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's only gonna get
My,
just
good-
stop.
my
'cause
goodbye
no.
is hashtag cancel Kuatoa.
Ooh, that's a good one to end on. Hashtag cancel
Seconded.
Kuatoa.
Yes.
All right. All right.
Oh gosh, Josh in a political battle for
For his mythical creatures, yes.
all of a sudden there's
right.
a big rift and they're having the big presidential votes of who they want to be the next one. Well, I don't know.
Signing off. Goodbye.
-2 minutes.
Yeah, this will be edited out later.